everybody.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Doing all right. Just staying ever busy.
Are we all? Oh, Eileen just put this out on the announcement. Eileen may not be able to be here on with us for tonight. She'll be here in spirit, though. At least she made an appearance somehow. I have to admit.
Yeah,
What's up, Cheyenne?
yeah.
Good to see
She's
you.
a little swamped at work. I just talked to her on the phone like not even a half hour ago. She's really swamped.
Work pays the bills, she
Yep,
says.
work.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
Paid my bills tonight.
Nice.
Yes, it does.
So I am going to start working on sharing the crap out of this show.
Already ahead of you on that one.
Yeah. I just keep going until Facebook stops me, but I make sure I hit the vital groups first, and then I just go straight across.
Cool.
You know, I don't know what it is, but for some reason whatsoever, it's saying that I'm going live on Things
It
Universal.
is.
Did you see that? Okay.
Yep, it is. I'm I'm not going to worry about it. The last two times I tried to go live, for whatever reason, it won't take it under my name anymore, which is weird because I'm the one who created the
Come on,
group.
Brad.
And I even talked to the useless peoples in group support of Facebook, and I do emphasize useless. They did say that there is no restriction on me.
Really?
Yeah, there is no restriction on me, but I'm going to hold off on trying to invite people to the group.
So every show you've been doing the last couple, what's going on with when I hit the Texas and stuff? Why is my face not showing up?
You know, that's something we're still trying to understand too. Hey,
It did
what's up,
for a while
Kara?
on the first show, and then all these guys, they're not coming up. Kara just came in, and she's not coming up.
I thought I saw her out of the corner.
That's weird.
Kara, how you doing? Long time no see.
I'm tired, actually.
I'll figure it out.
Paranormal cockroach.
Oh God, no! Here I am. I'm here rapping paranormal cockroach tonight.
Yeah.
Damn it, Brad.
Eileen is asking you, what page do you go to get when you get on?
I just
'Cause sometimes,
when you guys send it out, I hit it.
because sometimes depending on which page, because we are streaming on the 4 Facebook pages.
Right. Now, last week when I was doing it at the end of the show, wasn't I coming up?
I don't remember.
You were a few times, I remember.
Yeah, because at the end I lost it and I came back through Facebook. I seen you guys live and I hit that, and then you started to see my face. So maybe I don't use the stream. I just wait till you get on Facebook and then hit it.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, she just said sometimes if you don't go straight to things, it won't show.
Right.
You know,
I did notice with a couple people last week that they showed up as Facebook user, and then they were under their own name, and then all of a sudden they were back to Facebook user.
Yeah. Yep. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that StreamYard has been doing. Oh. Hey, Jeremy, you should know about this. Actually, I'm not at work. I'm driving to Brad so I can make him drink Starbucks.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Okay, it's time to start making some people mad. I was really hoping Jill was going to be here because I am going to show this.
That is funny.
It is.
Good luck. Good luck getting in.
As soon as I saw that meme, the first people I thought of were Adrian, Eileen, and Jill. They
Where's
were the
Jill when
first
you need
ones
her?
that I thought of.
Where is Jill when we need her? She should be watching right now, seeing this.
Oh, she'll be around.
She'll make it eventually.
Yeah.
Having some issue right now with sharing. I shared the show, and for some reason, it's not showing up on my personal page.
Really?
Right? You're
Yeah,
right.
it's. I don't know what's going on here. I mean,
That'd be mean.
It's so weird.
Well, I just
Well,
shared
according to
it.
Carrie, you got 9
Well,
viewers.
That's because
I'm
I just
showing
shared
out right now to multiple groups.
Well, the real question is when I shared it, where did it go? I can't find the damn thing.
It went to
You might be right,
Starbucks.
Brad.
Nick, it
Yeah,
went to
seriously,
Starbucks.
I cannot
Okay,
find the
so
sharing. She's probably still cooking.
there is a little story behind this. Last night, I was watching Drunken Oracle that has Keith Ottersberg and Christy Ayers on it,
Okay.
and Brad was on it, Jill was on it, and Jill said something about cooking, and I was just razzing on her about that, saying that it takes her 3 to 4 hours to cook, something like that. And then she said towards the end of the show that she was going to go ahead and leave and start cooking, and she was going to cook ramen noodles, or as Brad might want to refer it as Roman noodles, but we're not going to get into that. So she said she's going to start cooking ramen noodles. So anybody who has cooked ramen noodles knows that it takes 10 minutes.
I figured.
I said, okay, Jill, I'll talk to you in 3 hours. 3 hours later, she texts me, hey, I'm done cooking ramen noodles now. I was like, boy, did I call that or what? And yeah, Roman noodles, Roman reigns. Yeah. And also a forewarning. Christy may or may not show up in the audience and start calling me steak biscuits.
Wait, what? I don't remember hearing about that.
It came on to the show. Guy named Brandon. At first it started with Keith because he was trying to remember me, and then when she was saying that I was the guy with the eye patch, and he started talking about that Kurt Russell character from Escape from New York, Snake Plissken, Pils, whatever his last name is, Snake.
Okay.
Oh, I don't-
So, and Christy and Keith are pretty drunk, as the name of the show, Drunken Oracle. And I don't know what Christy said, but this guy named Brandon came up with steak biscuits to make it easier for her to say apparently one of my new nicknames.
The steak biscuit should be Ernie Pack's name because of his biscuits and gravy. Damn it!
I know. So, forewarning, Christy may or may not show up in the audience. Call me steak biscuits.
She lost it after that, apparently.
She did. That girl was if she wasn't anchored down to her chair, she would have fallen to the floor. She lost it big time.
Oh, apparently, Brad said Jill is here. She must be done cooking.
Jill, we don't see ya. Come on, Jill. I need to make you mad.
Okay, now I was able to share the link. However, I had to do that for my computer because, for some reason whatsoever, again, with whatever's going on, I had to go through the older means to share it. So now everybody can see it.
Yeah, I'm still sharing out. I'm just making sure I hit. Oh, there's Jill.
There she is.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to make Jill mad at me.
I'm looking for a cockroach file for my next 3D
So-
printer. Nope, that's not going to happen.
Jill's talking about coffee and Starbucks.
Yes,
Guess
so
what, Jill? What you get at Starbucks is not coffee.
Funny because the only drink I drink is Starbucks and coffee. The freaking refresher.
I'm really wondering what she's thinking right now. I'm watching this. Well, Eileen says regardless, it's good.
Well, of course, it's dessert. It's supposed to be good.
It's not wrong. Don't knock Starbucks.
I need some Dunkin' Pumpkin.
Yes, that's the good stuff. I love
Almost coming. Another month to go.
Yep, we're almost there. I can already feel that pumpkin taste in my mouth already.
Yep. Yep.
I
Even though
wonder if Jill and Eileen are on the same page.
I got to go 25 miles to get a cup, but
It's worth it.
This is Sparta. Wow. So how good? So how far are you into the Sharon Jeremy?
Well, there is one particular that I'm looking for. I'm just going to have to do a vast search.
Way too much pumpkin source crap nowadays. You know what, Dave? I think you and I can agree. We love it regardless.
no, I agree with he just said because man, I like my pumpkin coffee, but man, they're ridiculous with a lot of shit in the stores now. I mean, pumpkin
Yeah, that's true.
cookies, pumpkin cereal, pumpkin ice cream. It's like
Pumpkin makeup.
let us just have our pumpkin coffee and let it go.
Brad says though that he loves pumpkin pie though.
I love pumpkin pie. You
So do
won't
I.
get that from me, yeah. You won't get
What's
me.
going on, Nicholas?
That was for you. Bill.
What?
Say
Learn
hi,
how to
Nick.
spell Brad.
Hello. I forgot I invited my friends.
Oh man.
Yeah, so Eileen may not necessarily be on camera. She's still going to ding you.
Come on, you don't need 1 million pumpkin spice flavored things for all the Karens out there.
I only
Claire
need one.
says, yeah, well, Claire here says they don't have pumpkin pie in Australia.
How do they not have pumpkin pie in Australia?
I thought it would have been shipped from the U.S. to Australia.
You think?
Well,
No, not yet, Jill, but we're just talking about it. But
so
probably in another month.
that begs the question:
Yeah, we got another
do they even have pumpkins down there in Australia?
That's what I'm
Good
thinking.
point.
I mean, I don't think they do. So my best guess is that perhaps they ship them out. So that's what I thought.
Maybe Claire can answer that for us.
Do they even have Halloween in Australia?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I've heard a few people in Australia they celebrate. I mean, not as big here in the as big as in the U.S., but it seems like they're slowly but surely starting getting into it. and that's also the same for other parts of Europe as well,
Yeah.
not just the UK.
Hmm.
So what does Dave want from Starbucks? Not you, Jeremy.
Okay, I am now done sharing.
A cup of coffee that won't cost $20.
Yeah. What's going on, Lori? Good to see you.
But thanks
Lori's
for thinking of me.
Hey, Jeremy, we got Lori on.
Hey, hi, Lloyd.
Hello, Lori.
What's up, Robin?
Good evening.
Oh, she says they do have pumpkins, but pumpkin pie isn't a thing.
Ah, okay.
Well, maybe you got to be the one to start it.
They are made from pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
Just give it off that easy
All right.
So while Loy is up here, I would like to announce that Loy, she is of the Wildwood Sanitarium in Salamanca, New York. Nick and I actually got to see her a little over a month ago.
Yeah, almost a month. No, about a month ago now, because it was like June 26th or 27th.
23rd.
23rd. Yeah, you're right. So over a month ago.
Right before my birthday. And then a couple of weeks ago, I got to see Lori again when I was passing through from Vermont. And Wildwood Sanitarium is one of the locations that we have for the Paranormal Giving Tree, which is the information that you see scrolling here across the bottom of the screen. And their location is going to be hosted by UNI Research with John Griffin II. And Nick and I are going to be hosting at the Old Lake County Jail in Crown Point, Indiana.
Cool.
We are really, really looking forward to that. I can't believe it's in 2 days already.
You're telling me.
Yeah. And I also like to go ahead and announce that next year the Paranormal Giving Tree is going to be on July 15th. Normally I would have kept it on the same weekend, but I don't want it to interfere with Adrian and Zach's anniversary. So I pushed it up a couple weeks. And also, I can finally announce this. I am done recording my album. I've been teasing this now for a couple of weeks. I am finally done. I have the track listing done. And this is going to be the cover of it. Let me take the banner off. That's going to be the cover of it. I will probably be playing around a little bit with the text on the picture, but that's going to be the cover. Note the phoenix that I'm looking at. And the background that you see is actually the Fremont Street experience in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm really, really excited about that. And that is going to be the back cover of it.
That looks really cool, Jeremy.
Yeah. I already have the actual back cover made with the track listing, but I'm not ready to release the titles of those yet.
Yes. Well, Jill's loving it already. So, okay. Eileen said getting back to work. She'll check in periodically.
Okay, see you later, Eileen. Yeah,
I
named it.
Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead first, and then
I was going to say I named it Phoenix because Sarai Richardson called me a Phoenix because of how I recovered from my accident. And this entire album, minus a few songs, is pretty much based on the accident and the recovery of it. So I decided to take the title Phoenix, and that's the name of it.
I got to share this on what Brad said. It's the other way around. Their anniversaries interfering with your giving tree.
Right. Well, however, which way you look at it.
Can you blame them?
Yeah. All right, so Dave, who do we have in the background?
Oh, that's Kara. That's my daughter.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
She also investigates.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Every time.
Yeah.
We've invested, like, when they used to live up here and when we were actually, a lot more active as the MPS, we often usually investigated. And I was still investigating when she was just still a little girl. So I'm sure this brings back memories for you, Kara.
Yeah.
Well, what's his name? He was the same age as she was at that time. Walking Dead.
Oh,
They were the same
yeah.
age.
Yeah, Chandler Riggs. That was his actual name.
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, they were the same age.
You know what? I'm gonna have to find that picture while we're on the show so I could share it. See if I could find it anywhere.
I had a big crush on him too.
Yeah, we couldn't keep her away from him.
Literally.
You didn't have to worry about looking for him. All we had to do is hit the radio and say, Kara, where the hell you at? And then we kept hearing, we're here. We're here. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Call me out like that.
But no. We had good times. We had some good investigations. We had some hard ones, but we had some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, it goes quite a long ways, and we had a number of different investigations, and still some of the best, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Evanston, that was our first ever investigation as somebody getting a hold of us to do one. And
it's correct.
That was kind of crazy because it turned out that the owner used to be the bookkeeper for Al Capone back in the day. And we found out that he was skimming Al Capone. So they actually sent a party over to his home and executed him, his wife, and his child all in the night.
I remember that.
And then it turned out.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're doing that to somebody like Al Capone, you're not going to be living much longer.
No. 10 years after that happened, the family that we were dealing with actually bought the house, and they had, what did she say, 50 years? She had that place. The family had it for 50 years before she finally moved.
Yeah, that's what I remember hearing.
Yeah, they lost her mother and father, and then she decided just to get out of it because she said the place was like been wicked haunted the whole time, and she just wanted to know what the hell was in there. And we went in there. What was the first thing that happened was we walked in the place, and all of a sudden, all the faucets and everything started going in the bathroom. They just turned on, and you guys were getting stuff up on what, second floor?
Yeah, it was at least the second floor that we were on, and there was.
You guys were on the bedroom all tucked in there, and you kept yelling at me because you kept telling me to be quiet. We were in the basement, and it wasn't even us you were yelling at.
No, it wasn't me though. It was somebody else. It was.
Well, I know Nick came, or Nick. Frank came down, and he started yelling. He's like, "Dude, what are you guys doing down here?"
Yeah, I think it was Frank. Yeah.
And Kathy's like, nothing. We're as quiet as it can be. Why? He goes, no, you bullshit. All we're getting is pa, 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 you running around. I said, we've been sitting, and we had the owner with us. Like, we've been sitting here quiet for the last hour. Ain't nothing's happening. And we didn't hear any of it. They heard it. We didn't even hear it.
Right. Yeah. That was nuts that night. I definitely recall that.
And then, yeah. And that I don't think you were able to. Could you pull that? I don't know if you go to YouTube. Could you pull up the voice that we got?
Yeah, you know, that's actually what I'm looking for right now. It's been so long. I'm
It's
actually
on
searching
YouTube
for
under
it.
David Wismer,
Okay, let me. I'll
and
check through there.
you'll see me in the shirts. My picture is the shirts Jim.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Oh wait, I think I found it.
That's one of our. It's got just a light in the center of it.
Which one is it again?
It's got the light in the center of it.
White in the center of it. Okay,
It's
hang on.
a black picture with a light in the center. It should say Evanston investigation.
Oh, okay, hang on. Yep. Well, there's Evanston basement ghost conversation with Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think this
probably
is
it.
Yeah, I think this is it.
And that ghost, wasn't that when the ghost was like cussing at you and stuff?
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll share the
his wife
screen.
told me she was
So
coming for me.
what's going on, Don? I'll share the screen so that way you guys can get an idea of what is captured. All right, so this is the video right here.
No sound.
You don't hear it?
No.
No.
Oh, jeez, what the hell is going on with my sound nowadays?
Well, it probably has something to do with the 40 tabs you got open there.
I forgot about those damn tabs. Here, tell you what, I'm going to try to make this easier for all of us. Damn it! I've been meaning to get rid of those. I've been off my computer for the last couple of days.
And you only need to hear the maybe the first 30, 40 seconds, because that's where you could actually hear him yelling at me.
Okay.
The rest of it's like just blue, 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 blue. Yeah.
Only 4 more days.
All right, I'm gonna try something else next. Give me a second here. It's like again, I don't.
Well, I've got it here. Do you want me to just put it over the mic here?
You know what? Yeah, if you know, matter of fact, if you want to share it, go right ahead, Dave.
No.
Well, while he's doing that, Brad, whenever you do get a Thursday or Friday off, if you know ahead of time, let us know so we can get
There
you
you
on
go.
the show.
Can you hear it?
We don't see anything yet.
Well,
No, he's just playing it for us.
He's playing it. Okay, I thought he was actually sharing it.
No.
back there.
Oh, it's on the bottom. There you go. I hate iPhones.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, I could hear it.
I hear, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you'd have to see it if he can get it better on the. And that thing lasted 20 minutes, just me yelling at this thing until it actually got me to where it got me sick. And they had to get me out of the basement for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And then we finally went down and just ended the investigation. And we got whatever it was out of the house. And if you notice that picture we had there, that's how black it was in that basement. I couldn't see my wife two feet in front of me. It was that bad. But the minute we actually went to the prayer and we did our prayer together and everything and said amen, that whole basement lit up. We could see everybody. We could see all the equipment. It was all over, and we left. We just said, let's go, and we left. But
I'm gonna try doing this. Hopefully this will work. I'm gonna give this
a crazy night.
Now, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you guys tell me if you could hear it now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Okay. All right.
Say something to us. Come on. Really?
Was that you trying to talk to us, or you just? It still gives me the chills. That's pretty much the best part of it. I mean, it's pretty much going to be all the same. You'd have to watch the video itself. It's a pretty long video, but man, that was some weird shit.
So what was that like? A Phasma box that the noise is coming out of, or what?
Yeah, I think that was our spirit box. We had 2 or 3 different things going at the time. And the funny thing was that recorder, that video recorder recorded it. All the rest of them didn't even record it. Just that one recorder.
Huh.
Because we went through all the rest of it. We were all sitting. That's what we did when we did our investigations. We'd all go to someone's house and we'd all just sit down and start doing it. And we had 4 different recorders, two video recorders and 2 voice recorders. Only one video recorder caught it out of all 4 of them. It was crazy.
I had a similar thing happen years ago when we did a residential. We were all sitting at the kitchen table, and there were 3 of us, and we each had a different voice recorder sitting on the table, and we were asking a whole bunch of questions. And the crazy thing was that one recorder would capture an answer and the other 2 wouldn't. And it happened multiple times on all 3 of them, that one would capture something that the other 2 didn't, and every one of them did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it makes no sense, because unless each recorder is on its own frequency.
Well, that's the whole thing. We never know how we have a record. We can have the same recorder. You get 4 same recorders. And I've done this numerous times where I've only had maybe one recorder pick something up and the rest of them didn't. Is it because of our white noise is not all the same frequency, or because I know in the settings you can set that stuff. Can one be higher and the other one lower? Who knows? I don't know.
I have no idea. But I think that's definitely something worth looking into and experimenting with.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a lot of this.
Huh?
No, you go ahead, Dave, and then I'll explain.
Well, I just bought like 10 brand new voice recorders. So right now they're all set the exact same way, I hope. And when we do that place in Clinton, I'm going to set them all over the place. I mean, this is a big building. This is not a small building.
I've seen it. It's
this
huge.
Was a bank. This was you've got 3 vaults in the basement. You had one upstairs, and then you had the radio station on the 2nd floor, and then you've got the Masons on the 3rd floor. And their lodge is all still there with all their crap is still up there from like the 30s and 40s. I mean, the shit's really crazy. And logbooks, we got logbooks back to 1803.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, I do believe, not 1903, I'm sorry.
1903, okay.
The lowest one we had was 1852 or 53, I think is what, or 90, whatever right up the top before 1900.
Okay, but, so like mid to late 19th century.
I'll send you pictures. I'll get some pictures of them and send them to you.
Sure.
They're really cool. They've got swords. They've got shields. They got the things that go around their neck, the costumes and stuff. They're all still sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know Kathy.
Yeah, of course.
Kathy doesn't freak out on much stuff. She goes to the Body Mackey, Sedanville. None of that really bothered her. She went up to that third floor, and the first thing she said to me, I have to leave. She was up there for not even 3 minutes, and she's like, "Let's go. I gotta leave. I can't deal with it up here." That's how.
Jeez.
That's the heaviness of it out there. And she was able to get through the Saddamville without any problem. She even spent the night at Saddamville with me.
I remember that story.
Yeah, but she couldn't last 3 minutes up there. So,
Wow.
that's crazy. So,
Wow.
see what happens. We get up there and get it. I think I'll put the stuff up there and just let it alone. Just leave it overnight, and like I did with the schoolhouse over here, just put everything up there and just let it go for the night, and then come back the next day and just retrieve everything and then check it out.
Right.
Now you're in the Chicago area, right?
No, we're in Clinton, Illinois. We're up there by Springfield.
Yeah, so like more in the central Illinois area. They used to live up here with us, but they haven't moved down to
Champaign.
Clinton.
We're close to Champaign, Urbana.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're 20 miles north of Decatur.
I can watch all Jeremy's TikToks.
Well, if that's what she's wanting, there's my personal TikTok. Of course, Jill's only seeing one of them. We're seeing 8.
Yeah. No, we're seeing more than 8 because you keep sharing the damn things.
Well, it can only go to 8 because we're streamed to 8.
Yes, but anytime you post any link, it's more than 8.
When I post a link, we are seeing 8 of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Joe knows what we're talking about. Yeah. Oh, Jill's asking, does Dave sing too?
TikTok.
A little bit. Not as much as I used to.
I love my TikTok.
I've been getting into music myself too, so I'm kind of still getting started in it.
Well, after my stroke, I can't really keep a tone anymore. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you had a stroke?
Yeah, last December. A year ago.
Yeah. See, I didn't get word about that, surprisingly.
Really?
I would have seen it, but
I didn't advertise it. I didn't need to let everybody feel sorry for me. That's all.
okay.
Well, you seem to have recovered pretty well from it. You seem to have recovered pretty well from it.
We caught it really quick, and that was the best part about it. I got sick and dizzy and everything, and I went to the hospital. And then the moron people at the hospital here in Clinton, they told me I was all right, told me to go home. Well, we did that machine that they put you in to check your head and all that crap.
Yeah, CAT scan.
Well, I got in there and it broke.
Wow.
Really, the lights,
that's not telling you something.
Yeah, right? But seriously, the lights, everything went out. So the guy pulled me out by my feet. He said, "Get dressed and go home. And we can't do
that." Come on out. You're going home.
Yeah. So I called the guy up Monday. I was still feeling crappy. I called him back up Monday. I said, "You guys fix your machine?" He goes, "Well, no, you broke it. And we can't do anything until we fix it." I mean, that's exactly what the doctor told me. So I told him to kind of go bite himself, and we went to Decatur, and it turns out their brain scan thing worked, and they found out it was just a small stroke, and they were able to give me the pills and shit. But unfortunately, my speech and stuff doesn't work as well as it used to.
Right.
So, yeah, they said I broke their machine.
Probably a couple $1,000 worth of damage.
Oh. you like Starbucks, but you don't have a ticket. Yeah. That is definitely a head shaker there, Brad. That's
Jill saying, tell him you're
Shame on you,
paranormal wherever you go.
Oh, I know. It's horrible for me because when I can't really go to hospitals because I actually experience the paranormal when I'm in hospitals or in cemeteries or other places, and I can't even go to funerals with people that I love because it's really in some places it's really bad. And when I'm in the hospital for myself, it's a real pain in the ass because man, I got to keep the lights on and I see things that and people look at me, they see me watching all this shit, and they're all looking at me like, "What the hell are you looking at?" And it's like, "What are you gonna tell them? Ghost?" I mean, oh, you don't see that guy standing
in
right
the
there?
hospital longer than you want to be.
Yeah. So it's like, okay. So it's just the way it is with life, you know. Some people see the things and some don't.
Exactly.
I mean, you've been to my property. You've seen the damn shadows that go across my field.
Yep.
I watch that shit every night, you know. And they've been worse in the house lately. Actually, lights have been being turned on and off now, and there's our TV. They turn my TV off and on now, and just a lot of different. The cameras. I got one camera that will go completely purple for about an hour, and then it just doesn't. It just goes back to normal, and it's the same time pretty much every night.
Jeez.
Yeah, what the hell is behind you, Nick?
The same time.
That's not.
Did you see that?
Wait, see what?
That white flash that came up behind your, like something just grabbed the back of your neck and went back down.
No, that was I was just turning on a light actually because it's starting to get dark over here. I got a lamp light right in front.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was cool, dude.
And plus, he's got a filter on his.
Yeah, I also got a filter on because I got the green screen right behind me too.
Gotcha. But
Robin says, I learned the hard way that mentioning you see ghosts to the wrong people will earn you a stay in the nice locked hospital ward. I hate to say it, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
T-Buns.
T-Bum.
But I like this comment though.
Yeah, that's where the people with the white coats and the net comes after you, and you get to wear a special hugging coat.
Well, let me tell you, we did the thing. Were you over at Pascal's when Ursula was selling her books? Were you working with us then?
The name
For
is
the haunted house?
I was, well, I didn't work with you guys, but
MPS did the haunted house with them that one evening, remember?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were there for it.
Ursula was there selling her books.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was October of 2014 that we did that. Yep.
We had two girls came in that evening, and I kept getting this thing, and I kept hearing this thing, and it kept telling me to go talk to the girl. So I went to Kathy, and I'm like, Kathy, look, something's telling me to go talk to this girl. What do you want me to do? And she says, well, what's he telling you? I says, well, it's her uncle, and she wants me to tell her that she's okay. And so I said, all right, well, I'll go over. You can't just run up to somebody and say, hey, guess what? Your uncle's telling me you're okay.
Exactly.
You know? So they were sitting there next to the big statue, and I went over and I talked to her. I said, are you so-and-so? And she says, yeah. She goes, I can't remember exactly what his name was, but he told me his name. And I said, so-and-so just asked me to tell you that he was okay. And this girl busted out, and her girlfriend started yelling at me. What the fuck's wrong with you? What is the matter with you? She just lost her uncle like a week ago. Why would you do that? Who are you? And then Ursula yelled across and said, hey, That's Dave. He's like one of the biggest psychics in this area. And if someone's saying something that he's hearing, listen to him. It turned out that her brother killed her uncle. And that's what he wanted me to tell her. But I didn't do that. I just basically told her that her uncle was okay and that he loved her. But he wanted me to tell her who killed him. But I wasn't I couldn't do that. She was only 16 or 17 years old. I mean, would you do that, Jeremy? What would you do if you had that way and you?
I don't know what I would do in a situation like that. I really don't.
I think I did what I did was the right thing, not to. That wasn't for me to tell her. You know what I mean? If she had an adult with her or somebody older that could actually talk to me, that's one thing. But not children. I don't deal with children well at all.
Oh, how old was she?
She was like 16, 17.
Oh, yeah, no.
And she only lost her
he was 16.
Yeah, it was like a week ago she lost him. So it's like really, really thin water right there, you know?
Yeah, just like way too early.
And I probably would have got busted if Ursula wasn't there because they probably would have went crazy on me and we would have gotten into a fight. But Ursula told her, listen to him, and yeah, it was crazy. And I get that shit all the time. It happens to me all the time. So
now Jill here says, I relate to the Sixth Sense movie in a lot of ways, dealing with seeing and talking to them since my first memories. It can get a crazy feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then she also just added, it's hard to decide if we should tell or not tell, but it's hard when they keep insisting you speak for them or say something or do something.
Well, I get sick if I don't. I mean, physically. They drain me completely to where I've been stuck in bed for 3 straight days because I can't get out of bed. I'm so sick. And if it's here's an example. Kathy and I, the first year we moved up here, the the library found out we were paranormal investigators and everything. So what cool way to do Halloween but to have the paranormal guys come into there and do something. So that's what they asked us to do. Pretty much, I think it was in 80 or maybe early 90s, a mother took her 3 children, with her boyfriend to the lake on the boat ramp. The boyfriend got out of the car. They locked the doors and they pushed the car into the lake with the children in it. They killed all 3 of their children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The first question that came to me, somebody came up to me and said, could you go back to the cemetery can you go back to the dock and can you still talk to the children at the dock? I told them right off that I don't deal with children. No, that's not my situation. I'm not doing it. Kathy and I've been to that dock, and trust me, more than one people have died in that area. Put it that way. And I would not be surprised if they drug that lake. There's probably 3 or 4 cars down there right now with bodies still in it. Not kidding. It's a really. I'll take you over there next time you're here. I'll take you over to the shite, and you'll see what I'm saying. It's really crazy.
Sure.
But I know where the kids are buried. We went to the cemetery. It's on the way to Bloomington, and it's a really beautiful stone with all the 3 kids on it, and we got some kind of EVP when we were there last time. Kathy and I went just for the hell of it. And the thing was, Kathy didn't even tell me that the kids were there. She knew it was there, but she didn't tell me because she knew how sensitive I was about the situation. And we kept getting some really weird stuff on the EVP. And when we left, Kathy finally told me, "Hey, guess what? That last stone we were at, that was the 3 kids that drowned in the lake." I was kind of pissed. I was kind of not happy about that, but
Oh.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
Now,
Friends took me up.
we got 2 questions that came in. Is one's from Jill again. What about premonition, visions, or dreams? Do you try to warn people or help, or when if you get any of those? When or if you get any of those?
I don't have as when I had the stroke, a lot of what I used to do is I'm not getting a lot of it now. But in the past, yeah, I used to have dreams and things would big example, Nick, over at Saddamville. Remember
Yeah.
what happened in the basement? I went
Yep.
into like a trance in the basement. I just like passed out. And
Actually,
then when we
wait.
came through, I
I was
had
gonna
to,
say. I was
huh?
gonna say. I don't think I was there for. I don't think I was there, but I remember you telling me this.
You were
Though.
down there with us. It was
I was
you.
okay.
It was all of us were down there.
Okay.
When I was talking about the guys that were in the coats and they were doing the ceremony, and the girl showed up and they wanted to kill her for being there because the girls weren't allowed. It was like the 16 or 1700s, and it was really crazy. And I told the guy that Ed Shanahan, I told him girls can't be downstairs. I mean, they're they're gonna get hurt. And he kept all the women from going back down in the basement down there. And when we all went down there, something out of the wall came out, and it was we have that. I gotta find that for you. I'll send it to you. But we had this growl that came out of the wall. It was just enormous. I mean, it was really loud, and they heard it upstairs with all the girls. Were Kathy's got it on her recorder too. But it was really that place was just crazy.
It is, and I was there, and it just surprised me. I mean, at least for me, for my appearances, I only was ever there like 2 or 3 times, but that
Right.
place is nuts.
And the other premonition I had was the same place when we were all upstairs doing the thing with at Shanahan with the girls on the bed. You've seen the videos on my page. Uh, we heard, I thought I heard the back door downstairs, like someone was trying to break in. It was not a good neighborhood. And all our gear was down in the kitchen. So I told everybody, I'll run down and see what's going on. Just keep going on what you're doing. So Becky or Betty, you know who Betty is, right? From
Betty
Wisconsin.
Erickson,
Yeah.
Betty Erickson, yeah.
Me and her son took off and went downstairs. And we were checking everything out. Everything was cool, but one spot, you could see the door handle was just vibrating. You could see it moving. So he ran up and grabbed the door and opened it, and this light was just sitting there. And then all of a sudden it took off. And he looked at me and he said, "Dude, there's someone out here with a flashlight. Let's go." So we both took off, and we probably went, I'd say 15 feet before we got to a hill. And then we started down the hill following this light. And then all of a sudden, something in my head told me to stop. And I mean, I grabbed the back of this guy's neck and I pulled him back. I said, "Dude, stop." And Brain, it's pitch black. We don't know what's going on or anything. So I said, "The girls are up there. Go back up, make sure everything's okay. Whoever this was is gone. Let's get out of there." So we went back upstairs. I told that story that following Monday, and the owner of the place came back and says, "How far down that hill did you go?" I said, "Probably good 15 to 20 feet. She goes, "Well, just so you know, 21 to 22 feet, you'd have fucking went straight down, and you'd have ended up on a bunch of steel and iron and glass and all kinds of crap because there's nothing in front of you. It just was a complete drop. We would both been dead, like in a heartbeat. We'd have been dead."
Yeah.
So whatever that was not human. That was 100% paranormal, 100%. And you could ask Betty's every time we talk about it, this guy, you can see him start shaping. It was just crazy. It was just crazy.
About that one time we were sitting in the garage
But
where we used to live with Ken and we started doing shit in the
yeah,
garage.
there's been too many things. I mean, there's been a lot of things.
Yeah. It's just too bad, unfortunately, that Synopsville Rectory is now closed. But
Oh, I
let's hop
know.
on the. Wait, what was that?
Jeremy would have loved that place.
Yeah, it would have been. You would have liked that place, Jeremy.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. It's a crazy location, but unfortunately, the owners. I still don't really know the full story, but they just couldn't afford to keep the building running, so they had to close it down. And with that being said, they had to move out. So from what I've heard is
Well, I
that
didn't think they weren't living there. They were
well,
just
they weren't living there, but
yeah.
they still had to pay for the building on certain
Yeah.
occasions, and they just couldn't really afford it. So as of right now, it's still on the market.
I'd love
I'm
to
just
buy it. I
hoping.
wish I had the money, I'd buy it.
I think a lot of us would, so we can resume the investigations. I'm
But
just
again,
hoping that
look at all the crap that them two went through. They were almost divorced. I mean, they were very close to divorced
yep,
because of that building. I mean, they hated each other, and you seen what he did with that priest? He went after that priest. I
yep.
mean, it just did. And when you leave the building, then you're like fine again. But when you get in that building, it's just damn. And I sent that picture to you.
Oh, you did.
That
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can
arm.
find it.
Okay. While Nick is looking for that, Dave, one thing I do want to ask you, you said that since you had the stroke, you don't um, get that as much as you used to anymore.
Right.
So with that, do you find that as a relief not to be able to have that so much, or do you miss it?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry. I got animals that are too loud. Sorry.
Wouldn't be the first time. Um, now that you don't get that as much as you used to, do you find that you miss it, or is it more of a relief to not have it as much?
At first, it was a relief, because it really did get me sick when I was getting spirits talking to me and doing things, and I would ignore it. It would get me sick. I mean, I couldn't even get out of bed. Last week was the first time my hands went numb when I went past the cemetery. When I go by cemeteries, I can be a block away and my hands would go numb. And I would know. First thing I'd say is there's a cemetery coming. And sure to hell enough, a block away, there'd be a cemetery. And we'd stop and we'd check it out.
Your hands would go numb.
Huh?
Your hands would go numb.
They go numb, yeah. I get like real, like you get the ants feeling in your fingers.
It's like when you
I have never heard of anybody having something like that before.
Really? Yeah. But we were
Yeah.
coming back from Moroa, and we came through the backside, and all of a sudden my hands started getting numb. So I started looking around, and sure enough, there was a cemetery across the field. And I said, that's the first time in almost a year I've actually felt a cemetery. Kathy's like, yeah, you're right. And it was like the first time.
I wonder if you could be able to use something like that and find unmarked graves.
Yes. And I did that. Well, it was a long time ago, but lately I haven't been able to do that kind of thing. Maybe now it's going to start coming back. I don't know. But we have an Indian here. I took you to the steel bridge, remember?
Yeah, I remember the steel bridge.
Well, that was Dad's chest. Dad thought I was full of crap. And Dad told me, he goes, we're going to go somewhere pretty cool right now. And I want to know if you could tell me where we're going. And you tell me when we're ready to stop, and we'll stop. So they were driving down the dirt road, and all of a sudden my fingers started getting numb. I said, well, there's a cemetery about a block away. So Dad's face kind of started getting like, huh. Got to the bridge, and I said, stop. And that wasn't even a cemetery. And he goes, you sure you want to stay here? I said, yeah, stop. Let's go down here. So we went down to the bottom, And we stopped and we got out. And I walked up by this big tree and then I stopped. I said, right here. And he goes, what's that? I said, there's a grave right here. And there's one right next to it. And sure enough, it turned out the legend is that there's supposedly supposed to be a what is the head Indian?
Chief.
Oh, that was
The head dude, the biggest guy in the Indian
yeah,
war.
like the chief.
That would be the chief.
Yeah.
Him
He
and his
probably
wife
would be.
are supposed to be buried there with like gold and all kinds of crap. But they say every time someone tries to dig it up, they either have a big car accident or they fall in the water because there's a river right there, or they just get sick and collapse. And we never messed with it. We won't. But I told him, I said, there's graves right here. And I can feel graves. I can feel when there's bodies underneath the ground. If that's what you were asking.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I know that they have cadaver dogs to try to sniff out burials like that. So I just kind of curious if the tingling that you get would be the same way.
Well,
The hell is that?
Betty out in Mantoon, or Becky out in
Oh
Mantoon.
yeah, Becky and Mattoon. Yep.
She has Kathy and I do investigations with her once in a while. And we did one about 6 months ago. And now this one I was able to, well, this was pretty heavy too over there. But
I think you were recording it live. I was watching it. I remember.
I think, was that the one I did live?
I think that might be it because I was watching for a couple of minutes.
Well, they had a church across the street. Well, it turns out that the family that owned the property in the 17th and 1800s, I guess they were burying their people right on the property, because I kept walking around and say, well, here's a grave right here. And then we kept walking around again. Well, right here, here's one. Now, Becky can use the downing rods really well. And she could find the graves with the downing rods. But she was in the house when I was telling the lady that there were graves down here. So Kathy went in and said, I'm going to bring her out. Let's see what she says. Don't say nothing. She found the exact same spots that I did for graves. So the owner of the house actually hired a guy to come and do the walk around with that machine that goes through the ground. There were 5 graves on their property. And they were absolutely all the graves that Becky and I told her were there. So they had them resumed and moved.
Have you been to Fox Hollow?
No.
Okay.
Where's that?
That's Fox Hollow Farm you're talking about, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, the one that's just north of Indy, I think.
Yeah, that's like in the northwestern Indiana. That was where serial killer Herb Baumeister once lived, and killed a lot of guys.
Is he the one
during
that
his
had
lifetime.
the pool?
And he buried them right there on his property.
But he had the pool, right? He was killing
Yeah,
them
he
in the
did.
pool?
He had the pool. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to go to that place. I'd love to investigate that.
I remember hearing.
I don't think they do investigations anymore.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think they stopped doing them. I don't know if it's a temporary or permanent thing, but for several years they opened it up. But I have to admit, though, I mean, even just thinking about that location and the murders that were committed at that place it was creepy in itself. Not only because of the murders, but how it was all set up as a crime scene. Because I remember they had it on the show Paranormal Witness. They interviewed a former detective, and they said one of the other weird things was that Herb Baumeister had several mannequins placed in and around his house, including the pool area. Yeah, they were like in various poses. It just seemed really weird, bizarre, and somewhat creepy. It seemed like a setup to lure his victims there.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy was he was a crank. He was a griphead, man. Who else? Well, Ghost Adventures, I know they did it. And I
know Ghost Hunters did.
I do believe Ghost Hunters did it, right?
Yeah, they did. And then, like I said, not necessarily an investigation, but they covered. No, Ghost Hunters, not Ghost Brothers.
No, that's what I said. Ghost Hunters. I don't recall hearing about them going there.
Who?
I only know about them going to a couple places in Valparaiso and Crown Point, and then um, the reboot Ghost Hunters went to that. It starts with an A. Um,
Ashmore?
no,
No, not Ashmore Estates.
in Indianapolis.
Oh, gotcha.
It
Um,
starts with an A. It's like an Irish sounding name.
So, Foxhole Farm, there's also a documentary that was made over 10 years ago, which was called The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farm. So
Well,
it's made
remember-
a few appearances on shows.
You were talking about finding graves. Remember when we did the walkthrough on over in Bathurst Grove?
Yep.
Remember
I think
where
that was the,
where
that
I
was the
ended
one
up-
you got us lost. I think that was the one you got us lost in the woods with.
No, that's where I walked you
Lost
into
in the woods.
Well, I ended up long story short.
We got all night, David.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got all night. There's no show that
We
there's
went
no show
to-
that follows
we went
after
to
us.
Bathurst Grove one afternoon, my wife and I, to help pull the stones out of the pond. And there's like all kinds of other stones that they're thrown in the pond. So we were pulling them out. And I kept seeing this woman, this white woman. So I told my son to keep the camera in that area and let's see if we can maybe catch this. And he kept telling me he couldn't see anything. So it was just kind of crazy. And then after we were all done with that, the one woman wanted to go see the foundation. So Kathy's like, all right, I know where they are. We've been there. I'll take you over there. So the minute we got past the cemetery and we started down the hill to where that little creek is. When we got up over the creek, Kathy and the woman was a little ways up. I was attacked by this woman. And I mean, she had me on the ground. I couldn't breathe. She was basically ripping my insides apart, period. And I had to yell to Kathy. Well, really, I couldn't even yell. I'm grabbing Mike by his shirt. He grabbed my wife, yelled at my wife, and waited to come back. We got them all done. I was able to start breathing again and everything. And it pissed me off. I mean, it really pissed me off. And Kathy's like, well, you want to get out of here and go home? I said, no, let's go where we're going because they're trying to stop us from going there. So we ended up going over there and everything. And we left after that. The next morning, I got up and had a massive heart attack. That following Monday, they had to remove my heart, put it into ice. They had to redo all of my arteries, take some stuff out of my leg, fix the main artery with my leg arteries, and then put it all back. I had a it was almost a 14-hour operation.
A bypass.
Quadruple bypass is basically what I had to have. And all because of that bitch. And people say that ghosts can't hurt you, but they can.
Oh yeah.
She destroyed my inside. She just crushed all my arteries and everything. And a year later, remember what I said? We're going back to Bathurst Grove on the anniversary of that day. And we did. And you know that lady met me, came right back to me. And I told her, I said, look, you've already done me one time. You ain't doing it again. Now, if you got a message for me, tell me what it is and let's get it over with. So she had us follow it. How many people ended up following us that day? There had to be.
Oh, there was at least about like 20 or 30 people. There was a lot.
We just had this big following party. All these people started following us.
And these were people that we didn't even really know. I mean, there was a lot of them. I mean, a lot.
Once we got over the creek, we got up the hill. We ran into, I don't know, what was that guy's name that ran the cemetery?
That was, I know who you're talking about. And, the funny thing is, I never found out who his name was at that time. And to this day, I still don't. In fact, actually, about actually about 3 years ago when Tom McNicholas and we visited Bachelor's Grove, and he was right there.
Yeah.
And I actually I approached him at one point. I'm like, you remember who I was, right? He remembered me, even though it was a couple of years. He remembered who I was, and I
Yeah.
still never found out his name.
So we ran into this guy, and he goes, "Where you going?" I said, "I don't know. The lady's telling me that we got to go to her house." He goes, "Well, why are you going that way? There's nothing over there but a highway." I said, "I'm going where the lady told me to go." "What lady?" "Don't worry about it. Just she's telling me to go this way." And that's like, well, you're right there. I'm just like, don't worry about it. She just told me, well, you're wasting your time. The houses are over here. They weren't over here. Okay. So we did what? Maybe 5 minutes more walk.
Yeah.
And she said, stop. So we stopped. God damn it, was there not a house? The basement of the house was right there.
Yep, there was the foundation.
We jumped down in there, and there was still brick walls all the way around where the basement was. And I said, well, where are you at? And she said, to your right. So I got out of the house, and I went to the right. There was a well there. Turns out she ended up telling me that she got pregnant. She was a prostitute, and she got pregnant by the guy there. He was a banker, and the guy told her to come back, that he'd take care of it. Well, he ended up killing her and the baby and threw him in the well. And MPS and Ursula Bialski, we tried for 4 years to get the county to go and dig up the well, but they wouldn't let us. They wouldn't let us dig up the well. So every since when I was in Chicago, we kept going every year for Christmas and leaving a wreath on the well. And I don't know if you guys still do it or if Earth still does it or not, but
we have no idea because I think we
a baby in that well and it's still there.
Right.
And that was just crazy. Yeah, that's all video. We've got all the video on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
2010.
That was good. No, I think it was a little bit later. I think it might have.
Well,
actually
I had the bypass was 2010.
Okay, so that might have been.
So
that was about a year before. That was about a year before I joined.
So we found her May of 2011 because it was a year of my attack. We went back that day a year later, so it was 2011.
Wow.
Because I was going to say that was about a year before I joined, because I joined in 2011. So
well, it's funny because you're on the video.
You sure? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Geez,
you and your dad.
You
and your dad and your mom's in the video.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and check that out because 2010 I was still in high school.
Well, you were on the
well,
MPS.
If you had the bypass in 2010, and then a year later was when he went back. That was probably when you were there.
Okay. Yeah.
We had the MPS live show in 2011, dude. You guys were part of that.
In which I do have the pictures, which I would like to show at some point real soon.
I thought you remembered everything.
Oh, shut up, Jill. Shut up, Nick. That wasn't nice. You're picking on her now.
Hey, Brad's usually the one picking on you. He's unavailable at the moment, so Jill's stepping in his place.
I haven't seen Brad, so that probably explains why Jill is saying that.
Well, he said something earlier that his machines went down.
Yeah.
When he came back, so something must have happened and he had to get to work.
Yeah, she wants to see the pictures. All right, give me a second here. All right, now because you thank goodness you sent them to me earlier today, Dave, because I would have had a much tougher time looking for them.
Yeah.
Oh, and guess what? And Jeremy, you'll like this too. It's not only just the pictures of when we were doing the investigation, but this was also when we went to Crown Point Jail for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You remember when I got stabbed?
I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, literally got stabbed by an inmate.
Jeez. Wait a minute, where the hell is that? I just had it a second ago.
the funny part was we had all walked. We were just where that was the holding cell where all the
Yeah, I
all
think.
the
Oh, Dave! I just, in addition to finding those pictures, I also found the picture of us when we had Chandler Riggs with us. So I got everything here.
Well, I sent them to you.
Oh God.
Cover your daughter's eyes.
Okay, hang on. So we'll
His
start off
family,
with this, and
him
then
and his family were very cool.
so
Hey, we're
here's
down to
every.
2 tabs now. Yay!
You guys can see this, right?
Can you zoom in?
See if I can. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this was us when we were
I
at
think
Scherz
I
High
see
School.
which one is Chandler. Is he the one right there in the middle?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
him right there from The Walking Dead. I'm right behind him.
Okay.
And then Dave's right off to the side.
Holy
My-
cow!
And
No
then my
beard.
dad's too.
High school, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
if I would have stayed in Chicago too.
Yeah. Who is this guy on the end next to the red shirt?
You know, I don't even remember. But
He
I
was
think
another cast member, but I don't. He was a nobody, but he was still a
Yeah,
cast
he was the only one who was not looking.
a zombie, right?
He was a zombie.
He was one of the zombies. That's right.
Okay.
Also, Chandler wasn't the only one from the show that was there.
Oh no, 7 or 8 people showed up. There
The
was the
two
twins were there,
little girls.
the
were
little
there.
girls. You remember the? Do you remember?
I remember. I know one of
Yeah.
the other. I know one of the others that was supposed to be there, but she had to cancel right at the last minute before.
That was the black woman,
Yeah,
Jana, Miss Shawn.
Miss Shawn. Yeah.
She was supposed to be
The
there.
twins.
And she had to-
That was the one that she had on the leash, right?
Yeah.
no,
with
the
zom-
girls, the ones that
No.
what's her
No,
face?
Michonne's the one that had the zombies on the leash. That's what he was thinking. You're talking about the other twins.
The two girls, they were like 15 years old,
Yeah.
14 or 15. They're in the background back there at the end.
Oh, okay.
Girl?
I only knew of the two that were the pets, I guess, of Michelle.
No, Carol. Remember the 2 girls that Carol killed?
Yeah. Well, no, they weren't twins, but they were sisters though. Actually, because one was a little bit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
They were-
one was
yeah,
older.
they were
One was
sisters,
older than
that's
the
right.
other. Yeah.
I remember the one girl had to be killed because she was getting to be really sadistic.
Yeah, she was. That was the older sister, and then the
Yeah.
younger sister was already dead. It's that what they call the famous "look at the flowers" scene. So
Yes.
that's what we're referring to.
Yeah.
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 Now I'm going to show a few other pictures. Here, tell you what, I'm going to show. Here are the pictures that we took at Crown Point Jail. And Jeremy, you'll be surprised. This was when they still had storage, like in one of the main rooms. There's me, and this is me, and yes, this is 20-year-old me right there. And yeah, they still had all the boxes and stuff for
No, that
Universal.
was
They didn't have the
really
benches yet.
Yeah. Looky old Mickey.
Man, these pictures look
Oh,
old. Damn it!
wow. That's a lot of boxes.
Yeah, they didn't have the benches yet.
Yeah, they were still doing a lot of work up there.
Should I tell you?
And then here's Dave got locked up in one of the
Yeah,
cells.
that's when somebody locked me in, and it took a while before they came and let me out. I was a little happy.
Hey, don't worry. I got locked in there legitimately, and they couldn't.
That was so damn funny. And then here's
that was a lot of fun. And before they were able to get me out, I was yelling at Nick, "Quick, take a picture! Take a picture!"
for like literally a few minutes. He was literally incarcerated at Crown
was.
Point Jail.
It was.
Let's see what else I can. Oh, I'm going to show just a few other pictures. And Jeremy,
is that date accurate?
yeah, 2013. Well, no, actually, I think this was in The
No, I'm looking at the month and the day. Is that supposed to be January 9th, or is
No, that was just a camera. It was warm when we went.
Yeah, this was like taken actually like in September. I think it was September of 2013. So,
Yeah, it was.
no, this wasn't
So
January.
that would make sense. That because that could be September 1st.
Well, if you kind of look at it, because you guys know me when I dress up in my Halloween clothing, you can see I'm wearing my Halloween shirt,
Yeah,
which
and
is
your
just
gloves.
in my gloves. You know, I was already kind of prepping myself.
I
So
can't
this would
even
have been in
tell what
September.
shirt that is.
What's that? What was that, Jeremy?
I can't even tell what shirt that is. That almost looks like a chipmunk.
No, it's like supposed to be like a dead tree with a raven fly. There's like a skull on the bottom of it being
Is that
fed
what
by
it is?
other ravens. That's what it is.
Okay, so the branch, that's what I'm seeing as
Yeah.
the arm reaching out.
Those are the branches. This is the raven right here, and then my hand's blocking it, but you can kind of see a skull on the bottom of it. I still, even to this day, I still have that shirt.
I think you own every shirt you ever owned.
I think so. Let's see what else.
And even then, you're wearing what look like
boxers
gloves that only come up to your knuckles.
See those boxes that are next to him? Those are all his clothes. He just wants to change every 5 seconds.
Actually, no. Those gloves I was wearing, they were the type of gloves that actually go up to your elbow. So
Yeah.
it wasn't the
No,
fingerless
those are cool gloves,
Oh
actually.
wow!
I still,
Yeah.
hey, Dave, I still got those gloves too.
Oh, so
I know
those are the
You own
emo
everything
gloves.
you used to own.
Let's see what else. So these are the only photos you sent me, Dave, with Batcher's Grove. Now you tell me if this was the same event you were talking about a few minutes ago. This is when we actually got lost in the woods. I know you took that. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I look like I'm freaking out.
You actually wore your hat backwards. I have never seen you do that.
You
Yeah.
see me wear my hat backwards.
Bad boy.
Have I?
Yeah, you have. I've done it a couple times.
I don't remember.
Well, next time, if hopefully for Crown Point, pay attention. And
Yeah, we all know that little Jeremy York doesn't pay any attention.
Yeah, well, here's one other example of.
So there you go. Now you can see you were there. You can see you got. There's your picture.
And I have my right behind me, by the way, in case that's my sister right there. That was the only time she ever went to Batcher's Grove with us, and that was right here is my former friend Simone, which she doesn't live in this area.
Well,
Dave,
no,
I know you remember.
This wasn't when we went after that lady. This is the one where this was Frank's. You
Here's
guys,
the other-
Frank brought their. Remember, Frank brought his boss down there,
Yeah,
and
I
some
think so.
co-workers, and you brought some of your family.
yeah, that was the
That's what that was.
that was the
Nick, that you look. I can't think of who he is. I just saw him on one of the movies that I just recently watched.
I just
He
look
looked a
so
lot
tired.
like somebody that I just saw on TV.
Sopranos.
My God.
End of days. The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh, it was like what, Terminator?
No, the End of Days.
Oh, End of Days. That's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah, the guy whose body housed Satan.
Okay.
I just watched that movie the other day. That's kind of what you look at there. Gabriel. His name is Gabriel something.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to look him up to see if he was in any other movies that I
Well, at
knew.
least that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. I'm going to show just because, Jeremy, this is something you should know about because long before, obviously, I joined your network, as I've told you before, Dave and I used to do shows. They were radio shows, however. I got to go back and get it reframed, but this was one of the primary photos we did of our radio show. There's me again, like super excited for my show. There's Dave right here on the side.
Yeah.
What's in front?
I don't know what the hell that was, if someone was in front of me or what, but then this next photo of me, and by the way, now this is me when I was 21.
It's an orb.
Yeah, and then here's a clearer picture of us when we were doing the show.
Yeah.
That's the microphone.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Go back. Yeah, that's
it's the
literally
microphone.
Oh, we know. Yeah, it was a microphone.
Yeah.
Freaking
But just
hot.
think, we used
It
to
looks
get
like the flash is on, and it's reflecting off of that microphone.
6,000 people.
That does make a lot of sense, though. But that room, I mean, that place that we did our shows at, it was a great place, but man, was that room small, like
Yes, it
cramped as
was.
hell. It was like you could literally only fit like 4 or 5 people in it. That was it.
Well, you were supposed to only fit 4 or 5 people in that place, but we crammed.
That's what I
We
figured.
crammed to like 10 people at a time in there. I've got pictures where there's probably 7 or 8 people in there.
I'm not surprised.
So how
Mine
long did
too.
you guys have this radio show?
We started
2
what?
years.
Like I was gonna say, we started what? 2014, Dave?
Well, the first year we did it in 2013,
Oh,
and
13.
it was
Okay.
just the radio show. And then remember, we went to 2014. It went to video.
Went to video, but that was before anyone used StreamYard. Of course, I don't even think StreamYard was around at that time.
And of course, I can say that it was kind of cool because Britney Spears was actually our sponsor for the show.
Yep, she was.
Our shows.
That's right.
Not noticed by Britney Spears.
Let's see what else. Oh, now, Dave, here's some other pictures here. This was when you tell me which cemetery this was when we were in Clinton.
Show me arm real quick.
What's that?
Show me
the
arm real quick.
Yeah, right. Is this the one?
You see that? That was from Saddamville. That was a burn on this guy's arm. All he was doing was taking video of a seance. He wasn't even at the table. He was sitting against the wall, and all of a sudden, his arm started just burning. And he had 1-degree burns on his arms when he was done.
Wow.
And he got up and he ran out of the building. Him and his buddy just got up and ran out of the building. And this guy was a line or a center for Michigan State University.
Oh wow.
Yeah, him and his buddies, all 3 of them were football players for Michigan State, and they ran out of there like little girls.
Yeah, that's because he was talking
Okay. Nick, 7 pictures over. I'm kind of drawn to that one. It kind of looks like a chair.
To the left or to the right?
For me, it would be to my right, my left.
Okay, so right here. This must be what you were talking about. Yeah, I remember this picture.
That was creepy.
What is that?
That is the art theater in no, that's isn't that the same town where the jail was?
No, I don't think so. That was in
It was Indiana, wasn't it?
Here, it was called you said it was the Art Theater, right?
Art, yeah.
Oh, it was in Indiana. It wasn't in Crown Point though. It was in
Well, there's tab number 3 there, folks.
It was Hobart, Indiana.
Hobart, that's right.
Yeah, that's going away, Jeremy. That third tab.
That was taken. We were doing the introduction. We actually did an MTS group investigation where we had allowed people to come in with us. And the lights were on at this time, except for back there. Nobody was in the building. Everybody was up in front of the stage. Nick and I think it was you and Frank DiMartino.
Yep.
They were up front talking to the people. I just kind of like always stay around the background. I didn't even know I took this picture until after we got back and started looking at evidence. That's 100% a paranormal person standing in the doorway.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I was just drawn to that picture there because it just really stood out from the rest of them.
Yeah.
That's that picture that girl sent me.
But it was just crazy. It was a crazy night.
Now, Dave, remind me.
Is that theater still open for people to go to?
I don't know. Well, is it, Mick?
It might. I'm going to have to look it up again.
I thought they closed it and actually reopened it as a theater.
Sorry, what was that?
I thought they sold the place and then reopened it as an actual theater again and didn't allow investigations.
That's what I'm looking up right now because I just realized as I was looking it up you guys were seeing exactly what I was typing. So it says here, I mean, it still is open to the public regardless, but as far as investigations that take place, well, there's a, wait a minute. Looks like from what I'm seeing is that it says sold out ghost hunting at the Art Theater, but it doesn't. Ah, damn it! Hang
Well,
on.
maybe they're still doing it. Maybe they will.
Possibly, but the problem is that it's not showing me the event page. So
Well, all I gotta do is call them and just say, "Are you still doing investigations there, or are you doing anything there?"
Well, there is one other site I'm going to look at. This one here says ghost hunting at the Hobart Art Theater, and this says here. Oh wait, this was last year. This was an event. This occurred in October 21st of last year. So I think they are starting to do investigations again.
Okay.
Cool. I wouldn't mind going back there.
I'd love to go back there as well.
What's that place that
And Hobart is going to be within minutes of where we're going to be at tomorrow, Nick.
Yeah.
You can go by and check this. Go out and check out the theater.
Yeah, maybe we can do that on Saturday before we start the Giving Tree event.
That would be awesome. That really would.
Or at least drive by it.
Yeah, or better yet, even walk by it. Like if we have to only be outside, we can at least get a couple pictures of it.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, I was going to show this. You tell me, which cemetery was this at when we were in Clinton?
That's Grandpa. That's the one out by Kenny, Illinois. That's where Grandma and Grandpa are at.
I gotta ask, because you're gonna have to remind me. Why the hell am I holding a shovel?
Because Dad was alive at that time, and he put the tree there.
I was going to ask if that was you, Nick.
That is me. It looks like I'm like,
you're trying to be Joe Cool.
yeah. Yeah, it looks like I'm like the gravedigger, just waiting to bury the dead.
Bush in.
What's that?
The bush. In between the stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put that bush in.
You put that in? Oh, wait, yes, I did. I
you're
actually
holding a shovel, Nick.
Why do you look so cool, though? It's like you just buried a body.
Yeah, Mr. Nicky looks all badass and everything. now if only he had that vest during that picture.
I know. I wish I did have it back then, but I wasn't thinking about it. But here's another cool picture. This was actually out on the farm of me. And yes, as you guys can see from that era, I used to have a beard, but you're going to see a closer look. Check this out.
Well, I would have brought that up to you last week, Nick.
Look at the goatee. He actually had a goatee at the time.
It was after when I turned 21, and I kind of thought, well, now I'm 21, I should start growing the goatee.
A complete embarrassment. But I just want to let you know, Nick.
Yeah.
That look that you have, that was because of he was kind of a little frightened of a storm. And I don't know.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Still works, too.
That was like,
hey, Nick, you see what I got up?
Hold on one second. Hang on, I got to stop the screen for a second. What do you got? Oh, yeah, you got the lantern with you. Yeah.
That was a flashlight during the storm that we had that night. We were all hanging out at the man cave, and all of a sudden here comes Nick with this little Tonka toy lantern saying that there's a tornado coming. There's a tornado coming.
I was freaking out that night because I was freaking out because at that time I still wasn't fully used to like having tornado warnings occur in that area. Nowadays that's changed. I'm used to them. I mean, I get nervous if they're approaching our house, but you guys have seen the storm videos I do.
this is you have to understand was the first time Nick has actually left his home and went somewhere without his dad and his mom. He actually manned up and decided he was going to come out and do the investigations on the farm. And just for his thing, my daughter, which is sitting behind me right now, she at that time was what, 6, maybe 7?
She was either 7 or 8.
12.
No, you were just
No. Wait, no. Actually, no.
8.
She was older than that. Yeah, she was like.
Scared.
I'm gonna put it to like. Oh man.
She's the one gave you, that was her lantern. She gave it to you to protect you. And
I remember that.
it was
Yeah.
cute as hell, and you hung on to it. So that's the
It's-
only reason he really had it, because my daughter handed it to him just for him to protect himself. So
I was being protected by someone who was younger than I was, which was which was like I didn't even think about it at the time, but yeah, Dave did point out something. I mean, that was Larry, my very first time, which I was only 20 years old at the time. It was my very first time I went on.
You were 20, were you? Were you 20?
I was 20, yeah. So
you were still in high school, I thought.
I was, but I was in the transition program. So, but yeah, either way though, I mean, it was my very first time I ever went on a road trip all by myself, without my parents. So that was quite a good start.
Yeah. No, you did I think you did a great job actually. And we had a lot of activity that evening because, man, I'll tell you, with the thunder and the lightning, it rained a lot of that time. And when we got, remember when you and what was
It was Mike.
no, I can't think of his. I don't see
Frank?
him, so it's hard to remember his name.
Oh, Ken.
The old boy and his dad.
Oh no, that was Anthony and Rob.
Anthony, thank you. Remember when Anthony and I, after it stopped raining, we went up to the middle of the field and we put all the gadgets out?
Yep.
Remember what happened during that time?
I still remember too, like even when we got out there for the first time, I know investigating at various times was somewhat difficult because I remember the first visit that I ever went to that farm. We were just having torrential rains just going on and off. And we only had a few times to actually investigate when it wasn't
want us
downpouring.
Put it that way.
Yeah, it really did. We really had to wait for hours before that rain, even if it was only going to be a few minutes.
Yeah,
we were able to have a break and actually go out.
It was 1:45 in the morning, and the three of us decided we were gonna. It finally stopped raining. The rest of the guys were already doing. Checking out their voice recorders, stuff like that in the man cave. We went up into the west side of the farm on the hayfield. At that time, my father-in-law had bird houses all over the place. So we went and we put the voice recorders and we had the REM pods and everything else. And we were just putting it around. And the minute we put all this stuff on and got it going, you remember the wolves?
Yeah, I remember the howling that went on, and I got a little bit nervous because we were out in the middle of the woods that night.
I don't get nervous out there, but man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I got nervous because the first thing we noticed was the shadows. We were watching the shadows across the field.
Yep.
And then the minute we hit those voice recorders and we put them up on the heart, all of a sudden all these howls and the wolves were just going crazy. And it just kind of like surrounded us completely around the whole farm. And it like sounded like they were just coming in on top of us. And I looked at Nick and Nick looked at old boy and he looked at me and it was simultaneously, dude, let's get the hell out of here. And
we froze.
The minute we turned off those voice recorders, bam, not a sound on my farm.
That was just like, I could still even remember those howls, even almost 10 years later.
Yeah. But the second we turned off those voice recorders, bam, there wasn't one howl, there wasn't a sound. We looked at each other get the hell out of here. And we got our shit together, and we went back to the man cave, and we started. And I've got to find it, and I'll try to get it to you guys. But I still have that EVP, and it was just eerie.
Yeah, it was nuts, and because again, this was another situation I wasn't used to before. It really kind of freaked me out. It wasn't the paranormal stuff that was freaking me out. It was the sound of those howls coming out in those woods. It was just crazy.
It sounded like they were just getting closer and closer. And the problem is, we have hay. That's what we do here. We let the hay grow, and then we sell the hay. Well, the hay was probably up to our waist, or no, I'd say our chest actually at that time. So you wouldn't see anything coming at us. You'd see the hay moving, but you wouldn't see the animal. And it just kept getting louder and louder and louder. Let's go.
let's get the hell out of here.
A gun on me, and we didn't have no weapons or nothing on us, and it was like,
yeah. So seriously, if those coyotes got like any closer, and if they saw us as like some kind of threat, there no doubt in my mind it would have gotten very ugly for us because we had nothing to defend ourselves with.
I could just see beating a coyote with the voice recorder.
I think that would actually make it more mad than it would.
Bad dog.
It would make it more angry than hurt it.
I can hear Nick now. Do you have it running? Is it on? Bad dog. No, back up.
That's where you have a whistle with you, Dave. Yeah, coyotes don't like whistles.
No, they don't. It's surely not the dog whistles.
Funny. I use the whistle. I have the whistle, and I do use them too during investigation.
Oh, the dog whistle?
I have a silver dog whistle that I have in one of my boxes. I use that during investigation.
So someone's ahead of you, Jeremy.
I know. You talked about that.
Yep.
Remember about 7 months ago, you guys were in a what was that?
It might have been Crown Point.
No, it was. You were in some room that had a stage and stuff.
Oh,
remember
that was yeah.
Somebody was knocking at the door, and you all went running, and I kept talking to a woman, and we kept seeing somebody up top, and
yeah.
I can't
remember what that was.
The place where that guy.
And the one woman got sick, and she had to leave. She was up in front. She was sick, and she's like, "I can't do this anymore. I gotta leave." It was about 20 or 30 minutes before you ended the show.
It must have been on my personal
there was a bunch
profile.
Of tables and stuff right there by the front door.
What if Jeremy? You think you wouldn't happen to think that was that would have been Salina, wouldn't it?
Well, it had a balcony, because that's where we kept thinking we kept seeing something. Was that a hospital or a?
That might have been
Trying to think. Well, no, it wouldn't be Schurz. We haven't been to Schurz for a couple. We haven't. It's been over a year since we've been to Schurz.
If it's the place that Nick is thinking, it was at the Masonic Temple. But...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe it was.
It might have been the Masonic Temple in Salina, Kansas.
December?
Well, the thing is, I don't remember somebody. Because the only time that we would have been live, it was on Nick's.
It was on mine, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember somebody getting sick, though.
Actually, Nick, it wasn't yours because you weren't there.
Okay.
That was just Jeremy and his friends.
Me?
Yeah. You were some other guy, some white-haired guy. I think he was like blonde or older fella, like maybe my age, 50, 60. He was broadcasting also. He had his phone going too.
You're not talking about Steven or Tim or Steven?
It might have been Steven.
Because that was back when we were still.
A white he investigates with?
Steven didn't have white hair though.
No, it's more kind of grayish, but That was back when we were on Pond. So I know Steven was filming for a good period of time during the world's largest ghost hunt we had.
Oh, I know that there was a bunch of curtains all over the place.
I think that's the
That
Masonic.
would have been at the temple.
Yeah, that would have been the Masonic
It had to
Temple
be,
in
was that
Salina.
November or December in that area?
Okay. No, that was in September.
Yeah. That was at the end of September. That was when we were doing the world's largest ghost hunt. And Stephen was doing the stream for that, but Nick was doing the stream on his personal page.
Yeah, because when Steven
I think you were at home when you were doing it, and they were streaming it to you. I don't think you were with them.
No, I was with them, but
were you?
There were times. Yeah, I was with them because I decided to film live, even though Steven was filming on his platform. I wanted to, film live on my personal profile, and looking back.
Yeah, it was a good thing we did too.
Yeah, because Steven, he eventually ended the broadcast. So
he didn't end it while we were up there. They went downstairs. They were going to the theater.
Yeah, they were going to the theater. So, but eventually, regardless, he ended it. But I still kept rolling.
Do you remember when you heard the big bang and everybody ran up to the front doors towards the end?
Did you hear that, Jeremy? I don't think that was. I don't think that was with us. That might have been Steve.
I know it was Jeremy because that's when I started watching the show because I turned it on while they were there, and that was one of the reasons I actually started watching you guys because that was a cool ass investigation.
It was. We definitely want to go back. That's for sure.
But I remember you all ended up in one spot, and all of a sudden you heard.
Was it just me, one other guy, and the rest all women?
Yes. Yeah,
that was when I went to the temple back in February, a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Now for that one, I wasn't there.
February.
I didn't think you were there, Nick. I thought it was just him and that gentleman and then all the women.
Yeah.
And it was like we were chasing something, and I eventually went up to the balcony and went all the way around.
After you guys heard the big bang, and you ran out to where the doors were. When you came back,
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, the big bang. I was up there on the balcony, and I was looking right at it, and something was shaking those tables.
Yeah.
And Stephen was sitting on one of those tables, and something shook him.
Because you remember me and some lady
downstairs, and we went right there.
We were seeing something up there, and you said you were going to go up and look, and you kept looking behind the curtains and stuff up there.
Yeah, because that was that was the ballroom, and in the balcony there were curtains all the way around, but there were also streams of curtain going across the opening.
Right. Yep, that was it.
Yeah, I know.
One of your women get sick and have to leave.
One of them didn't leave. One of them wasn't feeling well to begin with. So for the most part, she stayed in the command center, which was on the 3rd floor. But she did come down to the 1st floor with the rest of us.
It's the Big Bang Theory.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I remember the girls were all on the stage. They were all sitting along the stage, and they had all their equipment out. All hell broke loose, and y'all went running. And
yeah, I mean, from what you've seen, David, is if you ever get a chance, or hopefully if we ever get a chance of going back, we got to bring you over to the temple because that really is a place that doesn't disappoint.
I'm actually going to try to do something next year with the temple. Possibly in June.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And when you see this place, Dave, I mean, this place is massive. I mean, if you look at what Schurz High School is like,
yeah,
it's the best way I could say it is that it's larger. It's not necessarily as wide as Schurz is, but it's definitely much more taller. Yeah.
Thinking of it as a giant cube that you're walking into.
A giant cube, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. A total of 8 floors. and 160 some odd square feet. 167,000 some odd square feet.
Yeah,
And you
it's
guys, there's no way
huge.
you guys investigate that whole thing in an evening.
There were 4 of us investigators, and then we had the ladies that run the building that were with
Okay.
us. We had a total of 7 or 8 people inside that
Yeah, there were
entire.
quite a few people there. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
supposed to be a larger group, hence its name.
No, I'm talking about
World's
the
largest.
first time that I went
Oh, the
there.
first time you guys were there. Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about when I was there.
No, we had too many people there that time.
A
So
lot.
that was almost 2 years ago then. Jesus.
Dang.
Yeah, we had way too many people there. It was a joke.
But regardless, I mean, it was just it was just incredible. Like, just a lot of the stuff that occurs at this place. I mean, it's just like, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen it on a lot of ghost hunting shows lately.
Oh, it's just brand new. It's starting to get some exposure. Nah, it'll come
Just like it was with Joliet Prison.
probably.
I've
Yeah.
never been there either. I really don't have any. I don't even want to go there. We tried to get an investigation there, and they were the rudest fucking people on the planet.
Yeah, right.
And I basically told the one lady to basically kiss my ass. There's so many other places to investigate.
Right.
Your place probably sucks anyways, and we just never went.
I'll be honest with you. Joliet is an awesome place to investigate, but yes, the Joliet historical people, they absolutely suck. Because when they started doing the tours, and believe it or not, if you remember, Dave, I was actually pretty much one of the very first investigators to ever actually investigate Joliet Prison. And we eventually started helping out with the tours. And of course, it couldn't have happened at a better time. It's just a few weeks before Halloween. It was cold out, so we didn't have to worry about the heat anymore. And Tom was also part of this too. And a lot of times, whenever we were doing the tours, like when whoever was with us, they enjoyed our company. But it seemed like the historical society people, they didn't really do too much. Like, they didn't live up to their job.
Because they didn't do what you do. They didn't probably do the homework, and they didn't.
Exactly.
And when you get something in your head, you spend a whole year take just to find out what the address meant on a building.
Well, it's not only that. There was clear
That's
evidence.
How you are. You get every inch of everything on one investigation.
Exactly. And Joliet Prison was no exceptions. And in fact, if you saw what was going on, you would clearly see the evidence that not only did I have, of course, my historical knowledge of the place, but you would also see kind of the disgust from the what are we looking at here? Oh yeah, that's the temple right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Are those the curtains you were talking about, David?
Yeah, without the tables weren't there.
Yeah, the tables were all gone then. Yeah, that's the ballroom there at the Masonic Temple.
Yep.
And
that's exactly where you were.
But anyways, really quickly, Dave, I mean, like with you would see the evidence of in the disgust of the historical society people that were not happy whenever I gave the histories, because I was probably the best way. I literally was telling history of Joliet Prison, stuff that they didn't even know about, and they were absolutely annoyed by it. And
see, I don't get that. Why would they be annoyed? I mean, you're doing their job.
Yeah,
you don't have to do it. All I got to do is sit back and relax.
Yeah, it's like I was saving. You put it this way, I was kind of saving them the trouble and stress of what they would have had to deal with, because I knew this stuff really well. And then about maybe 2 weeks after our last visit, that's when we got the message that they weren't going to allow us to come back into Joliet Prison anymore, which I was shocked by, because I thought, first of all, we were having so much fun doing it. We got free access into the investigations, and most importantly, we were actually doing the tours, and I was actually giving all this information to everybody that was there. And I was, even without the paranormal stuff, I was really being the tour guide. I was keeping everybody impressed. And it was quite obvious they threw us out, and the other investigators just so they could have this place for themselves and the credit, which is just a selfish move. And even 4 years later, we're still trying to get back into that building so we could start resuming. But it may still take a while, but one day we're going to get back in there and
Well, I
continue
think
where we left off.
we need to get back together and go to Peoria, and we got to go to the
Yes,
hospital there, because
absolutely.
that was one of our actual last investigations, if you remember.
I wasn't at that one, but I do remember you guys
I
talking.
thought you did the kids' care with us.
No, well, no, that wasn't at that wasn't in Peoria. That was at I thought that was at Schurz.
No, we did the mental place because they were shutting it down, and that was the last. We were the last to do the investigation there.
I remember. Yeah, I think I wasn't able to go for some reason.
Chrissy was there, and Frank,
yeah, you guys were all there. I think I had something going on in my schedule, and to this day, I absolutely have huge regrets. But I gotta ask, and I don't know if you know the answer for this day. I mean, I've seen the articles of saying that Peoria is reopening, but is Peoria even a thing anymore? Because there's just nothing there. Most of the buildings have been demolished.
They were going to tear down everything. So when I saw that, I didn't understand.
Well, I mean, the only thing that's left is just the cemeteries. Other than that, everything else is pretty much just gone. The cemetery was
only the size of my apartment.
Yeah, it was a small cemetery.
It was right next to the garage that I was DJing during the time.
Yeah. Well, so, aside from that, I just...
Unless there's another cemetery that they got that we didn't go to.
I don't know either, but aside from the cemeteries, I just don't know what else is there because everything else is gone.
I'll look at get back to you on that. Maybe Kathy and I'll take a run out there and see because it's only for less than an hour for us.
Right.
So we'll check it. But I thought the big building and all of them were being taken down, so I don't know.
I know the administration building was torn down a couple of years ago, despite the fact
you're showing a big building for the investigation. So that would have been the one we investigated. That was the big building.
Yeah, I wasn't at that one. I regret it.
Because there used to be a town. They called it some certain town, and I can't remember what it was.
Right.
It had the big building, which was the state asylum, and then they had a store, they had a laundromat, and it was all fenced in for this community. Only the people who worked at the hospital were allowed to go to that store or or had patients there.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to go in the gate. Once you got in the gate, you could be part of this town. But once you left, that was it.
Right.
And I think they were supposed to have they were tearing that stuff down when we were there, put it that way.
Just a damn shame that they would tear it down. And even when when the last building remained, which was the administration building, it was dubbed a historical landmark, and it was saved by...
Maybe they couldn't have tore it down then because there's a building still standing.
Well, no, what happened was, even though it was actually saved by the people of Peoria, it's just like they just didn't care, and they tore it down anyway, against everyone's wishes.
Well,
so
I don't know what they're investigating then, because they show a big building, so I don't know what they're investigating.
That's the question I'm trying to figure out again. Is like, what else is there? So I don't know either. Other than the cemeteries, that's the only thing I can really think of what
the cemetery takes you 5 seconds to walk across that cemetery. That's how big it is.
It's a small cemetery.
Yeah, it's like you walk to the tree, 1, 2, 3. You step through half of it. Walk past the tree, 1, 2, 3. You just pass through the second half of it. That was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
I decided to look this up, just about any more history of the place. It's still unfortunate because they said after the hospital closed down in 1973, the buildings, of course, stood empty and were auctioned off. When the initial auction buyer went bankrupt, developer Winsley Duran Jr., he took over. I don't even need to read this because I already know this, but he took over ownership with the hope of creating with office space in the structures. But unfortunately, those plans were never realized. But, regardless if it would have been open for ghost hunts or not, had he been able to, have that dream come true, he would have saved a good majority of the hospital.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll have to take a run over there and see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty curious to see what we'll find.
I'm going to share the page one last time. I got two other pictures I want to show. And yes, Jill, if you're still on, these are more young pictures of me. I have a picture of, I got two other ones. This is me even younger. You remind me, Dave, what was this picture of? What were we doing in this picture? And it was not only just you and Kathy and me. Frank Heiberger, when he was still with us, what were we doing in this picture right here? And was this at your old house? Can you see it?
Yeah, we were. It was New Year's.
Oh, it was New Year's. Okay.
I was going to ask if that was New Year's.
And by the way, this is me now at 19 years old.
Because you remember that's the TV that you and me and Mike and everybody ran across the street from the church. Remember?
Yeah. Yep.
Look at that sweater that you're wearing, Nick.
I still, and Jeremy,
You still have it, don't you?
I still got it. I still have it.
Yeah, that's your dad's hand right next to you.
Yeah, it's my dad right next to me. I have a pic. Oh yeah, I forgot. So here's a picture of my dad from the radio show, our first radio show. So here he is. Of course, Jeremy, I know you met him at least once or twice. So
show him the blue picture.
The picture right here.
Yeah, remember the backyard?
Yeah, that
Bring
was
a little bit if you can.
Zoom in.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Damn it! I want to see if he sees it.
Oh wait, here. Okay, this is. Oh damn it! Okay, this is as close as I can get. But I could see a face though. Yeah, right here.
That's the whole body. What are you talking about? The face?
Oh, the thing is, I can see the whole background of it.
It's a woman. It's a girl with her legs hair at the bottom, and then she's holding a bonnet or something around her hands.
Yeah.
Got the coat. And if you notice, without seeing this, it looks like she's got a bag over her head, like she was being hung or something.
Yeah, you can kind of see like right around here.
It looks like there's someone next to her, like
that's my daughter. She was swinging on a swing.
Yeah, that's her right there. I was trying to figure what that was. And I thought, oh wait a minute, that was Kara while she was on a swing. Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah. From that angle. Yes, okay.
Yeah. That was our backyard.
The way that her legs are hanging over the swing, it looks like the back of what you would see on a sailor with those little white squares that they have.
Yeah.
On the collar. And her hair looks like a cap that they would wear.
Well, send that picture to Jeremy. Let him actually get a good look at the picture, so he could actually see what he's. It was and we didn't even realize it for almost a month after we saw that picture. We were just going through pictures, and my son Mike found it, and he's like, "Dad, look at this picture." And we had just got new phones, so we were messing around with the camera. And about a month later, he's like, "Dad, look at this. Check this out." And sure enough, the little girl's just standing there.
I'm sending you the picture right now, Jeremy, so that way you have it.
Oh, you're sending it to me?
Yeah, because Dave just said
you
I can send
see
it
it better. It's really better when you can focus on your own computer and actually see what you're looking at.
Okay.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Here you go. Now, this was back when you were still living in the old house, right, Dave?
Patterson, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Because I found another old picture of us when this was down in your basement. In fact, I still remember this was our first Halloween investigation we ever did. This was down here in the basement, which
who was the women with us?
I don't know who those were. I thought they were neighbors of yours. And yes, again, this is another old picture. And Jeremy, guess what age I'm at in this one? That under that heavy makeup, that's me at 18 years old. Yep, 18-year-old me right there.
Yeah, I don't know who those people were.
I never found out who they were, but they got to go throughout different areas of the house.
Yeah. That was a great house.
It was. It's just a, unfortunately you guys had to move.
Now this was a 3-story building. The landlord, the state took the building from him.
Yep.
Nobody ever told us we had to move, so we had the run of the whole building. We did. We had the basement, the first, second, and third floor. We were investigating all the time. Then finally, some guy come in and said, "Guess what? We bought the building, and you need to get the hell out."
Yeah, it really sucked. When I
Well, we
heard
don't
that.
feel like leaving. They paid us $15,000 to get, or $5,000 to get out of the building. But we had to do it within 30 days. We were out of there in 10. Hey, it's $5,000. We weren't going to argue with them. Okay. It was just, we had squatter rights, and we weren't paying rent. We weren't doing any. They were paying all the bills, everything. We weren't paying nothing. We were there for a year before they finally came and said someone bought the building.
It is just so amazing looking at these pictures, just seeing how grainy they look nowadays. I just want to go back to this picture of me holding the shovel. I need to make that my profile picture. I'm surprised I haven't done it.
You know what he looks like? He looks like one of those guys from the motorcycle.
Sons of Anarchy.
No. It's
the Hellraisers.
Oh, the Hellraisers.
Yeah, you can say that. He's got his little goatee. And his glasses.
Where was that vest when I needed it most?
That was the same day that I ended up having the snake fight.
We saw the snakes that day. You saw like 2 snakes, and you literally grabbed one of them. Those snakes were big.
Well, I put it on the other one so they could have sex. But it didn't work too well.
Yeah, I don't think it did.
All I did was ran up the tree.
Yeah. This will be the final picture we're showing. Jeremy, I don't know what Brad said. I don't know what Brad said, but unfortunately, I can't.
He's asking if we're going to do another 6-hour live.
It's unfortunate. See, I can't see the comment.
I got to get up early in the morning too.
So do I. Got to get up early.
I get up at tomorrow. 6 in the morning. So
yeah. See, I can't I didn't see what Brad said, because I can't see him when I'm doing this, unfortunately. But I'm just going to show one final picture now. Jeremy, this is also the logo of MPS, in case you ever wanted to know. Well, this is Dave's logo right here.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I had to come up with something new. What is that? Suit and Ties. You ever see that video, Suit and Ties?
I don't think so.
With is it Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, I think so.
If you look at the end of that video, our logos are literally all across the back of his background.
Yes, Jill, that was the youngest picture you saw. That was me at 18. And still in high school. Still in high school at that time. Oh my God. Oh, did you guys see this comment of Jill? Want to pitch them cheeks?
I saw that.
No, I think these are comments in regards to the picture that we were showing. Yeah, that there is a person. Children do gravitate towards other children, which of course, I could see why, because Caro was still very young at that time.
Yeah, that picture is when his daughter was on the swing.
We think that Caro actually picked up that ghost when she was doing Northeast. Remember over at Northeastern University?
Yeah, Northeast. Yep.
The cemetery was right next to it. Well, I did a photo shoot with Kara there. She wanted to take pictures around the cemetery, and a day after that is when that girl showed up, and we think she came home with us from that.
Right. Total Ghost Rider vibe. That must be the picture. And Jeremy, did you see this other comment from Brad?
You know that's
Come on,
from,
I'll be up before all of you.
that's from the picture of you on with the shovel.
That's right.
So I
Yeah,
tracked all
that's
the
where
kids'
that's where
pictures.
the Ghost Rider vibe comes in.
Oh, what the shovel? Oh, wait. Oh, I thought it was the picture with the shovel.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yep, that's what she's talking about.
No, you should real quick before we get done or whatever. You should pull up the Bathurst Grove.
The video, yes.
Yeah,
the video. I know exactly
alien.
which video it is.
We actually got a video of an actual alien at Bathurst Grove.
See, Dave calls it an alien. For me, to this day I have no idea what it is. I'm still trying to.
If it
debate
was a
myself.
tree, it would just sit there, right?
It was.
But if you look at it closely, you'll see the arms are literally moving side to side. You see the thing move. So,
yeah, that was. I still remember it didn't really actually move like by its like own feet or whatever, but it was still moving somewhat with its arms or whatever the hell it was
To
doing.
me, it looked like it
Yeah,
was
I gotta see this one.
me.
Brad, I'm going to share the link in just a sec. I'm going to actually put it on the screen so you guys can see. It's a 2-minute video, so let me do that same thing I did previously.
Well, if you go to the video, all you have to do is go to the middle of it, and it'll go.
Yeah.
Like one.
Okay. All right, so here is the video itself. This was taken back in 2012.
Yeah.
Anybody even talking to us, or are we just getting random words?
There's me off
Answer
in
our
the corner.
questions.
Mike's videotaping this.
Yeah, you're videotaping it. Yeah.
No, Mike is.
Oh, Mike is okay.
You got burned too?
I've in the past, yeah.
So this is a Bachelor's Grove.
Yeah, this is Bachelor's Grove
Steel War
Cemetery.
family.
Okay.
Enter. Entire. Still never told me what was by the highway.
Oh, 59 degrees.
Convince me you're talking to me. Climb.
It was cool that day. I remember. It was relatively cool.
Something kept telling us something about the
What's
highway.
by the highway.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, that was by the highway.
What are standing in?
Mike went over there.
Right. Now, I'm just going to pause it
15.
just for a quick second. In case you guys were wondering what I'm doing over there and not focusing, was Jeremy, I've told you about it. I was making that film, and the person that was in front of me was interested in appearing in my documentary. So
actually, that's not you.
No, that is me. I can recognize my voice.
Wait, are you standing up or sitting down?
That's me
down
right there.
No, you're sitting in the background with the girl, doing an interview with the girl in the background.
No, that's me. I can recognize my voice.
Dude, those are your sweatpants right there. Your black and white sweatpants.
That's me standing there.
That's actually.
There are 15 of us.
Really?
Okay, so it's going to turn the camera. The camera is now about to turn to see where this creature shows up.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Give it a second.
You missed it by 2.
I did get Murphy.
I get Murphy a lot.
You're not common. I've never seen that movie either.
Okay, now keep an eye out in the center of the video. Look off to the left. You see that moving around?
Now what? It stands up a little
right
bit.
over here.
What is this place called? You got to point to it. Standing in
Now it's moving.
Okay, I see it.
And nobody noticed
No
it.
longer a planet.
Even
none
though
of
it
us
was
did.
down there, so
I'd get
did
Mars
only the
a few
camera
times.
pick it up? I mean,
Go back to that.
Okay, wait, hold on. I just accidentally clicked on exited out, but I'll go back. Give me a second. Oh, hang on. Now there's a stupid StreamYard ad playing. Give me a second here. Yeah, I love Jill's comments.
all those videos are on my page, Dave Wismer, in YouTube.
Okay.
You can actually see them all on YouTube.
Okay, so it was right around this area.
You're not common. I've never seen that movie either. It's basically like a website.
What are we standing in right
Yeah,
now?
right over here to the side.
Yep.
Then it eventually moves off to the center.
Well, yeah.
And at first
What
I
is
thought
this
it was a
place
rock
called?
until it moved.
Standing in that damn light.
It's like
Pluto?
moving back and forth.
Crazy, isn't it?
Send out the link.
It's yeah.
Put the link in the comments.
It's
I know
exactly.
Brad wants to see it. I want to take a look at it on my bigger screen when I get in the office.
Cool. And it's funny because I was talking to a couple that do the alien thing on Facebook, and they were laughing at me. I said, "Dude, I got a video of an alien," and they were laughing at me, but they weren't laughing after I sent them the link, and they went over and over and over it again. They thought it was actually really cool.
Yeah, like I said, I first thought when I saw this for the first time, I thought it was a rock until it actually started moving. I mean,
That guy there in the blue, he is facing right at it.
And they're not even noticing that it's
Yeah.
there.
they can't see it.
Mike was focused right on it, and he didn't say anything.
None
How
of
long
us
ago
did.
was this?
Oh wait, this was back in 2000. It says here 2012. Actually, okay, wait. Jill's asked me to pause it, so let me pause it this time. Hang on.
And anybody that has good video stuff, they could pull it up even closer and see a little better of it.
Okay, so I paused it. I'm going to try to go frame by frame, but this is probably as far as what I'm seeing right now is that it's kind of clear, but it does have that kind of pixelated look to it.
Well, what I can do is I can download that video and put it into my DaVinci Resolve program, and I can slow it way down and probably zoom in on it.
Really, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like we could finally get to the bottom of whatever the hell this thing is.
Yeah.
The slowing it down won't be anything, but I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in it the way I want.
I tried to zoom into it, but then it started getting crackly because, like I said, it was a crappy ass video recorder we were using.
Yeah. But I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Everything you want to do, yeah.
Yeah. I won't be able to do it until sometime next week because I need to go to bed early tonight. I got to get up early. I have to take my dad to a physical therapy appointment, and then shortly after that, I got to leave to go to Crown Point.
Jill wanted to ask Dave. She wanted to know I know you already said it, but she wanted to know what did you think before she says what she thinks it is.
I thought it was me. I thought it was some kind of creature right off the bat because remember the TV we had was huge. It was like a 60-inch television.
Yep.
It was almost like we were on top of the thing when we were watching it. So it looked a lot better on a big screen than it does on this little complete computer screen.
Well, actually, that's what I'm using right now.
I know what he's going to call it.
Oh, God damn it, Brad. I'm sorry to call it Nick. Now, when I first saw it and when I realized it was some kind of creature, and I think I might have told you this once too, Dave, is that, you see, I didn't think at first it was like supposed to be some kind of alien. I thought actually it was kind of like, looked to me more like a skull because it had the dark eyes, the round head. It had kind of like a skull-like appearance to me, but that was just what I thought at the time. But now here, Jill's saying this. It's winged and crouching lower, but she thinks it's the angel of death.
Could be. Nobody knows what it is.
I still don't have a clue either.
No. I just think it was a cool ass video we got hold of.
It was. It is Azrael Archangel, the Angel of Death. Okay.
Boy, that's getting real specific.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised she's able to try to come up with something because, I mean, yes, it's a good video, but at the same time, though, it again has that pixelated look to it.
When you pull it, when you get to pull it up a little closer, you can actually tell that there's 2 legs, 2 arms, and a torso. You really don't even see a head; you just see a torso with 2 arms coming out of it, and then the 2 legs.
Kind of like it's crouched down.
Yeah. So what if you do get if you have a great type of video software, you'd be able to pull it in a little more, but after it gets to like times 10 or so, then it starts getting pixely.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
See, I also have and Dave, you know me because I've done film editing work. I have a new program now, so I could actually, just like Jeremy, I could download the video and actually zoom in on whatever this thing is. I can't, of course, make any promises that it'll make it any clearer.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to get a closer look at what this thing might be.
Well, Jeremy, too, if you've got audio equipment, not equipment, but software.
Yeah, I have Audacity.
Well, I have that too, but you probably use it better than I do, right?
Not really. I really only use Audacity so that I can make snippets from songs.
I'd like to see more of what that investigation with now I can't say it. I hate when I get like this.
I know.
The first one we were doing, Evanston.
Evanston,
I'd like to see if we can find someone that can maybe stretch that or see if there's actually more words coming out of it than you know what I mean?
Oh, so like slow the audio down.
Well, I tried that, and again, I don't know. I'm not really great. We had a good group. MPS was a really good group.
Yes, we did. We really
Everybody had their job. We had 2 or 3 people that were good with audio video. We had Nick that was great with finding out the sites and everything and doing a history. Me investigating, a couple other guys.
Bachelor's Grove, Jill.
Yeah, this was at Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, Jill, which is out in Midlothian, Illinois, just about an hour outside of Chicago.
I can slow down the audio as well, Dave.
Right.
But
if you I'm just curious, anything after the first 40 seconds of David Wismer, we're coming to get you. That was the only thing I was actually getting to get out of that. After that, it was just I couldn't pick up any more words or it just was like slurring type stuff.
Okay, if you can send me that file or tag me.
Well, again, if you can get all that on YouTube, you can just go to the top and just right link it when you put the video. Once you put the video up, you could just tap it and you can save that. And then
I mean being able to get me to it so that I can get it.
Yeah, David Wismer and Yahoo, or I'll send it to you.
So see, I'll be honest. The way how I always download videos from YouTube is I have Real Downloader. I know not too many people use it as much, but I use that to download videos and make copies of. So if you still have trouble getting it, Jeremy, I could send it to you through the file.
Why don't you do that for me? Just
being able to download it is not going to be a problem.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
I just need to know which one I'm getting. And you have your own YouTube channel, Dave?
Yeah, it's David Wismer. It's my name. It's under my name, David Wismer.
Okay.
You can see me with my investigation uniform in a gym.
Yeah, this is the page right here, so that way you can get an idea. This is the whole page right over here.
Well, a lot of that is our show.
Yep, the old show that we used to do.
Yeah.
There's still a few that, unfortunately, I know some haven't been released since, but I know you have them.
I see the video for the Bachelor's Grove. Where is the other one you want me to get?
you'd have to go into videos, and once you get
Oh, the Evanston basement. That's the
Yeah.
one we were. Yeah, this is the one right here.
That
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
Okay.
well,
Then
why
I,
is
I
it
can, I can get to that then.
So
As
why-
long as I know what I'm looking for, I'll
That's
get
weird.
it.
Huh?
Jeez, you only got 31 subscribers. We need to boost that up, Dave.
Yeah, people don't like me. That's okay.
And I want to answer Brad's question. Yeah, we've gone back a couple of times, Brad. I've actually gone there myself as recently as about 3 years ago. I am hoping to go back sometime in late September, early October, once the weather, gets cooler. We don't have the bug situation, and because truth be told, because it's out in the middle of the woods, it does get very buggy a lot. It's hot, it's humid, so honestly, I'd rather wait till it gets cooler out. So we're going to try to make a visit.
I thought I heard that they were supposed to make a campground over there.
I remember hearing that from you because there was, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, I remember the way how you told me was they were basically going to rearrange the entire cemetery and they wanted to turn it into a campground. The only reason.
Oh no, the cemetery was going to be chained up. They were
Yeah, it was going to be chained up, and they wanted
the area where all the houses were. That's what was supposed to be the
campground. Yeah,
yeah.
Well,
That's
not only
So
that,
is Bachelor's Grove a small cemetery?
very.
it's very small. It actually used to be a much larger cemetery, but throughout the
Well,
night,
That's what I thought. I thought it was a big cemetery.
it was back in the days.
I mean, it never got smaller. It just the stones are gone. They just
Because
vandalized
throughout the 1950s, 60s, and early 70s, that cemetery was subject to a lot of vandalism. In fact, I've actually found photographs of both when the cemetery used to be a lot larger, like when it was actually had the appearance of a cemetery. These are from the early 1950s. And then I found photos from the 60s where, police officers are investigating the vandalism craze. I think I still have those photos.
The stones are moved, but the bodies are probably still there.
The bodies are probably still there, but it was most of the time they were trying to steal the graves.
Welcome back to the Illinois edition of Poltergeist, ladies and gentlemen.
Halloween, a lot of times they were actually finding people digging these bodies up and taking the heads, and they were taking the skulls and leaving the heads, and then they would just destroy it. They would beat it with the shovels and shit and just destroy it. And they actually, one family knew about what was going on. So that one Halloween, her and her husband actually went there, and some girl and guy came out and started digging up the grave. They shot and killed them right there.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like these locals, they had enough.
They actually shot and killed the girl and the kid and left them in the grave and then called the police. And the guy...
You now have 32 subscribers.
There you go, Dave, from Jill. Has a psychedelic circle as a default from wrong Dave Wismer jail.
I never put the stuff. I look at it this way. If I put the stuff out there, people want to look at it, they're going to look at it. If they don't,
the other thing I want to point out too, I remember that story too, Dave, was, when you think about it, Jeremy, because, obviously I think we all know that, and Jill, this is something you should know, is that Bachelor's Grove obviously is one of the most notorious haunted cemeteries in the country, but because of its notoriety, that's what gave it subject to vandalism. And so when this couple went and killed these kids, I mean, unlike what it is now, unfortunately, this was still at a time before, officers actually patrolled the area to keep it safe. This was when it literally...
Too, the mob kept the cops out of there.
Yeah, the mob kept it.
That little lagoon was the place that they used to put the bodies. When
A lot of the mafia members, when they kill them, they dumped them in the lagoon. In fact, and Jeremy, I don't know if you know this. In fact, when you walk into the cemetery, or even before you walk in, there's
I don't know anything about the cemetery.
Well, get this: if you ever go there, the pathway that leads to the cemetery, that actually used to be an old road that used to run right next to the cemetery back in the 1920s. I do not know when they stopped using it. I'm probably going to say maybe around the 40s, 50s, or early 60s.
Probably after the whole thing turned into a stream and you couldn't get over it with the car. And
yeah, but there's still evidence of that road.
That part right there.
The road?
About couldn't get through with the car.
Yeah, because they stopped using it like well over half a century ago. And
yeah,
you go there today, you can still see evidence of that old road as you're walking up to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. So almost 100 years ago, this was literally a cemetery like most modern day cemeteries and historic ones. This was among one of those cemeteries you would have drove right past.
Well, do you remember when you and your sister and your brother and I were sitting up against the fence? And you picked up a piece of that road, and we were doing EVPs. And remember, you got that EVP with the Model T driving past.
Yep, and there's Model Ts that have been seen on that road.
So we were sitting along the fence, just sitting. It was during the day, and Nick picked up a piece of the I don't know what the brick.
Gravel. It was basically like gravel,
and he was just messing with it. And we were doing EVPs. And we listened to it back, and we literally heard the sound of a Model T driving past us.
Yep.
It was amazing. And if I find that, I think I still have that EVP. If I find that, I'll send it to you so you can send it to Jeremy.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of them I haven't listened to in years.
Jill Ghost Adventures was there. They were investigating. They were investigating 2 locations. It was Bachelor's Grove, and then the Excalibur.
Excalibur, yeah.
Yeah.
Now remember, Nick, my hands are up. They were the first to investigate.
Yes, they said that, and they did it again. They did it again.
Let me do this again. News flash. Ghost Adventures was the first to investigate Bachelor's Grove at night.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and they did it again with Joliet Prison, and this time I could actually step in and like, no, that is not. You guys are not. I, along with Tom and whoever else was there with us that night, we were the first ones there, not you guys.
Well, just to change the subject. You were always looking for something to do. What about the couple that we had at Schurz that we investigated with? I can't think of what her name was. They were from Ghost Adventures.
That was damn it! I know.
I can't think of her name.
I forgot about those people. To be honest,
was it Debbie?
It might have been.
Debbie, the 2 that killed him, the guy killed her, and then her.
It was Debbie and
Constantino.
Dave Constantino and Debbie, Yep.
Debbie and Mark.
What's really
Debbie and Mark,
What's really weird about this situation was Nick, me, and 5 other people were the last people to investigate with that couple.
Yeah.
Because they died 3 days after our investigation.
Yeah, and that was chilling to us.
I talked to her the night before she was killed. I was talking to her the night before because her daughter got back to me because I was talking to some about it, and she got back to me and she's like, "Who gives you the right to talk about my mother? Why would you say shit about my mother?" I stopped her. I said, "Look, your mom was an awesome person. We just investigated with them in Chicago at Schurz. Oh, were you there?" I said, "Well, yeah, we're MPS. We're the ones that they came and hooked up with. They were great people. We have the actual last footage of them investigating."
That's right.
So the video and the voice recorders that we have that night is the absolute last they've ever investigated with.
And at that time, we obviously had no idea. Well, we never saw it coming. I mean, at least I didn't. But
the night that they had the investigation, all hell was kind of breaking loose because I guess the hotel was just they were fighting and they're in a hotel room, and I guess they just weren't getting along, and it was just all. I don't
There
want
was
to talk bad
tension.
about it because, like I said, to me they were very nice to us. We never had a problem with them, and the investigations were just out of this world. They were unbelievable
Yeah,
investigators.
they really were. But I knew that there was some kind of tension going on, but I just didn't think it was gonna
I didn't
end the
think
way
it'd
it
get to
did.
that. No, no. So, but I was talking to her just the day after because I told her I was going to send her a bunch of the videos and the recordings and stuff to her. And the next morning, I was getting stuff together, and that's when I saw it on the Facebook that she was murdered and that he'd
Yeah.
killed herself. And I was just like, "You got to be freaking kidding me!"
Yeah, and when I saw the article and when you guys sent the message, I mean, I'll be honest because I was looking at my phone. I almost dropped the phone when I saw that because I literally was like, I mean, I almost thought you're saying you guys are joking, right? Please tell me you're joking because we
Oh, I
just
know.
saw them
I
3
had to
days
call
ago.
Wismer and say, "Hey, did this really happen?" And it was like I called her, and then I called who the hell did I call? I think uh, DiMartino. I got a hold of him.
Yeah, Frank.
I said, "Did you hear that those two are dead?" He goes, "Yeah, I've been watching this on the news all morning, and I didn't even want the details. I just hung up. I was just like flabbergasted. I'm like, "What are
Yeah,
you
that was just
talking about?" And it had to be
insane.
a month after that I even got any kind of detail on what happened. I didn't want to know. I just didn't care. It was like we had great memories of these people, and all of a sudden they're gone. It's like what
3 days later. And this was like, and
the
this
hell?
was, and honestly, because again, for the young age I was, this was basically the first time that I had basically known people that were murdered.
Yeah.
And for me,
Well,
especially, being one of the younger members, I mean, when you experience that, like when you experience that at a young age, takes a while for something like that to settle in.
yeah, that was crazy. So there you go. That's something that you could do, and you know, in her honor, because it's coming up September. It was September 12th, I think,
I think it was.
when they killed when they had their death. Because I think the convention was the 8th, 9th, and 10th at Shears
Yeah, in October.
that weekend. No, it was September.
Oh, I thought it was on. Oh, that's right. That was the first time.
I thought it was September.
See, we always had the Ghost Con in October, but I think that probably might have been the first time it was in September
That's
instead.
because it wasn't at the Portage. It was at the Shears.
Right.
And I think at that time, I think the school for some reason was closed for the week, and that's why they asked us to do it then. I don't know. I could be mistaking on the time, the month, but I know it was between September and October. Yeah, but it
Right. Right.
sucked. Just that really sucked.
Yeah, I mean, it really hit us. It not only just hit us, of course, it was for everyone that was at the Ghost Con. I mean, bam. I mean, another way I could describe it is just bam,
As much
just
as I
knocked
don't
our.
like as much as I don't like Ghost Adventures. I mean, I used to love them, but now I just you
It's
gotta. I felt bad for them,
yeah, me
especially
too.
Aaron, because Aaron is. I love Aaron. Aaron's an awesome dude, and he really was close to them people, and man, it knocked him out for about a month.
Thinking it impacted the entire paranormal community. I mean, this was still at a time before I made all these national, international connections. But even then,
Yeah.
I just knew it was just bam, just knocked our heads off. Like wow, and it's the same thing too. I've said this a couple of times where yes, I used to love Ghost Adventures as well. I don't anymore, sadly. Although I still like Aaron,
I
but
watched
the others are fine. The other
the
guys are
early ones,
fine. I just
one
don't like.
through I think 1 through 5 series I watched, but I can't watch anything after that.
Yeah, I pretty much stopped watching. I think after when Nick left, and I mean, there's a few exceptions I've made, but for the most part, I just don't watch them anymore. But at that time, though, when I was still watching them, I was even thinking to myself, there was no doubt in my mind of what those guys were going through when Mark and Debbie died.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah. So that's something for you to do for a show. That would be a great show. Do like a memorial for them or something.
Yeah.
And I can get the footage for you if you need it. Just so you got like their last investigation.
Still a sad story altogether.
Yeah, it is.
It was crazy.
And this was footage, and honestly, thinking about this, should be footage that definitely should need to be shown in some way, shape, or form because
Nobody's ever seen it.
Yeah, no one's ever seen it,
Nobody.
and this would basically kind of in their honor show before their deaths of what
Now,
they always loved doing.
Would we have to have permission from somebody to show that?
Oh yeah, that's you know that, Jeremy, or
I don't know.
that's a tough question.
No one's ever seen that footage but me. Period. I'm the only one.
I haven't even seen it.
No,
I have not seen it to this day.
because we never did the. What am I trying to say? We never got together for the evidence review because
Right.
it happened so quick, and then they were gone. So it was like we never even did the review. I've still got all the.
When they were there and you guys were investigating together, was it supposed to be for an episode of Ghost Adventures?
Oh no!
No. This was our own thing.
It was a ghost conference.
Yeah, it was for the Ghost Con.
They were our guests at the conference.
Oh,
Like the following year was not Amelia. What's his name? Daughter.
How long ago was this again?
What
When
was
they
that?
died? How long ago was this when they died?
Ghost
This was
hunter.
back in Mark and Debbie. This was back in 2015.
7 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
And before this, you know, Mark and Debbie, they had been married for like well over 25 years.
He had
So
3 kids, didn't they?
They had two
So
or three.
okay. So
two kids.
when they were guests, were you guys the ones that were holding the event?
Yes.
Well, we were.
Well, no.
Ursula Bialski was hosting the event, the conference.
Mhm.
We were the paranormal team that was hosting with them the investigation. In chairs.
It would probably depend because I'm sure for them to come out there as guests for the convention, there had to have been a contract involved.
Okay.
So with that contract, there may have been something about filming or anything.
I think Dave's frozen.
Yeah.
Dave, you're frozen. Hang on, I think he's trying to get set back up. Well, Jeremy, at least it's not you getting frozen this time.
Yeah.
Geez, I just realized too the comments haven't. Geez, I haven't seen anyone comment for like the last 10 minutes. I'm surprised.
Yeah. And there goes David.
Okay. Well, we'll give him
Well, maybe we text him real quick.
Yeah.
Text him. If he's not able to get back in, maybe we can just go ahead and end the show.
He's online right now, so let me message him.
Okay. That's odd that his camera would start frizzing out on him when I'm talking about the contract about
No.
every.
That just seemed kind of weird.
Yeah. So we know that Jill is cooking because she's not talking right now.
Yeah. Brad is working, and he wants us to go for another 8 hours.
Yeah, there's Jill.
Yep, there she is. Well, Dave is paranormal, though, she says.
Right.
And then, like I said, Brad's working, though he wants us to go for another 6 hours, which that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
Make things go on and off.
Okay, so while we're waiting on Dave, whether or not he's going to be able to come back, so I have been talking a little bit about the Thanks family for the last several weeks. I am almost ready to roll it out. Everything is already written out and ready to go. Now I am working on the Things website, which I'm going to go.
Sorry to interrupt, Jeremy.
Yeah.
He just told me that his connection went out. He's going to try to come back in. So we might have to wait a minute or two.
Okay. So this website that I'm putting down here now into the chat, I am currently working on updating that. Got several things updated. I got to say I don't have it published. So I've got a lot of stuff already updated. Now I'm still working on some more things. I'm hoping by the time that we do this show next week, it will have been launched.
Okay.
That's my goal. Welcome back, Dave.
Yeah, you're good now. I can see
I don't know what happened. We were talking about that, and all of a sudden everything went wacko.
That's what Jill was saying.
So what I was talking about, it would probably depend on, most likely there would have been a contract involved for them to come out to do the convention. And they
Ursula's probably got all the rights to it. If anyone's going to use it, it would be only her.
It's a possibility. I would check in with that person. Now, having been 7 years ago, it probably won't even matter.
Right.
Right.
Well, she doesn't even talk to us anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I don't even know if she's alive anymore, is she?
My dad actually spoke to her recently because.
Oh, okay.
Now remind me, Dave. You remember who Jan Mary is, right? Did you ever know who that was?
Yeah.
Now you heard about what happened to her about a week or so ago. Yeah, she passed away.
Yeah.
My dad didn't tell me this, but apparently Ursula was at the funeral. So I guess my dad was able to talk to her for just a little bit. And Jeremy, and believe it or not, Dave, long time ago, actually, Jeremy was going to try to get Ursula on as a guest before, but that was when she disappeared, of course. Right. So my dad spoke with her, and I think what's going on is because her daughter is in the, I think it's the Air Force, if I'm correct, her old Ava. I think that's who's in the Air Force. She's given up a lot of this paranormal stuff because now she's becoming super from what I've heard from Tom,
Who are you talking about? Ursula?
Ursula, yeah.
Her daughter is a Fed.
That's what it is. I couldn't remember which division she was in.
She went into the Feds.
The Feds, yeah. But because of that, I guess from Tom told me this was that because this was like a very serious kind of job, it's like Ursula kind of became like extremely, extremely religious, and now she wants little to nothing to do with paranormal stuff anymore.
Really?
That's what I was told, but I'll check with my dad again. He's not here tonight, because he's at our other house. But I'll check in and I'll get back with you on that information.
Well, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's crazy too, and it's still hard to believe. So that's why, like if you kind of think about it, why we haven't really had the ghost con. I mean, yes, of course we couldn't for a while because of COVID, but also, we just. That's why no one has been doing. So that's why we're actually trying to do something ourselves now. It's kind of been left up to us to try to put something together. Which after the show,
you can always use the farm.
Exactly. Well, what I'm going to do is after the show's over, I'll talk to you a little bit more about this.
We got cemeteries all around us. We've got the building in town.
Right.
They tore the school down.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Damn it!
It was hit by lightning, and it actually collapsed most of it.
Okay, so It wasn't demolished, actually. Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, they had to demolish
well,
it.
they had to demolish it, but it didn't actually wasn't demolished from the start because it was hit by lightning.
Yeah, it knocked the chimney in.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a
That's
cool
crazy.
place. It was a great little place to investigate.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was.
Now, this is a little schoolhouse that was basically built in the 1700s, I believe. And will you stop? The damn dog's about ready to beat each other up. And this place was built
Snoopy
like,
wants to play.
yeah, right, with their teeth. Arr. But it was a one room building basically. It just had one school, one room. That was it, and it was cool as hell. That was one of the photos I sent you, Nick.
the photo that you sent me of.
I sent you. Yeah, there's a picture of the front of the school on all those pictures I sent you.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Guess I must have missed that one.
It's got the picture of the little girl up in the window.
Okay, hang on 1 second. This was what you sent me earlier today, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was probably one of the first ones.
Okay, bear with me for
5 or 6.
Here, tell you what, I'm going to share the screen again, and you point. You tell me which one it is. So
I'll tell you in a second. Hold on.
Well, unless you want to resend it to me again, that's fine.
Well, I'm looking at them right now. It was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next to you with the shovel.
Oh, the shovel picture again. Okay.
Hey,
wait, I know which photo. Yeah, I see it. I see it now. Okay.
Yeah, pull that one up. Now this is the front door of the schoolhouse.
Whoops, wrong page.
I was gonna say that. There you go.
I was looking something else up. Yeah, you could really see something up in the side of that. You really can see a face right over here.
Yeah. And you should. And the EVPs I got in that place is unbelievable. I had put two voice recorders in there, and we left them overnight. And then when we got back, they were gone. So we had to look around for them. It turns out they were thrown into a window ledge, and I had to actually get a coat hanger and some glue or tape, and go down there and try to get them out of there. And luckily, after about an hour, we finally got them out of there, and we took them home. We had probably 2, 3 voices out of it. And the coolest part was the school bell. You can hear the school bell ringing. Like the teacher was saying, time to get back in for school.
Yeah.
It's very cool and very clear. And there was nothing around there that had bells or anything.
Right.
So.
It's sad to think that this building no longer exists because
I know.
This is a really cool and rather creepy looking building.
It was a very cool building. We investigated there quite a bit. Yeah. That really sucked when they said they tore it down. I was like, damn.
Yeah, really.
They're tearing too many things down.
They really are.
That's all they know how to do anymore. They don't care.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Like Zach, he got that place in Indiana. What did he do? He tore it down. Idiot.
And then there was also another place. Well, and Jeremy knows this place too. I think, Dave, you know this place. And this is a building that I think myself, along with a few others, are trying to save is the Mignolo Hotel in Fox Lake, Illinois. It's literally like one of the top 10. That's that hotel I told you about, Jeremy.
In Fox Lake?
Yeah, Fox Lake is the Mignolo Hotel.
Huh.
I think
I didn't
when
know that
you
place.
told me about it, they were looking at tearing it down.
That's what we're worried about because it actually is considered one of literally one of the top 10 most endangered places to be torn down in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Huh.
Did they finally tear it down?
No, it's still standing, but it's still standing there being left to rot.
Okay.
And I've actually, when I went to that event a few days ago with Tom, Parapalooza, cool thing was Elliot and Nat were there, and we were actually talking a little bit about it. So it was actually my first time actually hanging out with Elliot and Nat. So we were talking about it for a little bit, and in their belief, they basically were saying that if they wanted to really fix it up, it would take years because that entire building is made out of wood. It's a wooden structure, and you know they thought there was no hope for it because it hasn't been in
Yeah.
full operation
A
since
wooden place like that, if it's left alone for a long time, it is not going to survive.
the only time that they ever did fix it up was only like
Ah,
there was one occasion where they put a new roof on it along with some new walls, but that was like 35 almost 40 years ago. So since then they haven't done anything, and really the last time when it was actually operating at a hotel, I think it was 1963. I think that was actually the last time where someone actually checked into the hotel and spent a night there. And then
What
after
they
that,
would need to do is reinforce the supports to keep
yeah.
the building up.
Well, that's
Hmm.
probably what also led eventually to the closure of the rest of the building because after when the hotel closed, the bar and restaurant were still remained open, and that continued. And then in the mid '80s, was when it got that partial restoration, with the hope of trying to reopening it. But even though it got those new parts, it never did. And the bar continued to stay open until about 2014 when
Yeah.
that last active part of the building actually closed down, and the building has been left to rot since up to the present day.
Unless somebody goes in there and replaces the supports, I would say that building is probably a goner because
Yeah,
you would have to do something to save it from falling down.
right.
the Lincoln Theater too in Decatur here. They completely revented whatever you want to say. They redid the place.
Oh, renovated?
Renovated,
They
yeah.
took all the floors out of the place. They put new floors in it. A friend of mine, actually, she's a photographer in Decatur. My wife works with, and she's been trying to get us in there for investigations. But the only problem is they took the floors out and they didn't want us in there because of that. And they're saying once the floors get put back in, hopefully we can actually get in there and investigate it. That
Right.
would be cool because that's supposed to be a pretty big haunted location.
Yeah.
So
Well, guys, we have been on for 3 hours now.
I know Brad's going to say something just before we end the show. I just know it.
Yeah. And ask us to go on for another
3
15.
hours.
Yeah.
that's funny.
What do you guys say we go ahead and end this show because we all need to get up early in the morning?
Works for me.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you for just a minute, Dave, after we get off. But yeah, after that, we'll
Okay.
end it. So if you could stick around right afterwards,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I was telling you earlier.
Okay.
So before we do end the show, David, thank you for being on with us.
Absolutely. That's great.
We had a lot of fun.
Nice.
Can you tell everybody where they can find you?
You can get a hold of us, Facebook, of course. Midnight Paranormal Society, Clinton, Illinois. And basically everybody, you can get a hold of us there, and we're getting ready, hopefully, to be doing some cemetery crawls, and we want to do an investigation, like I said, in the building, so we're going to do a public one there once the insurance and everything goes through. So that's pretty much. I'm on TikTok, but I don't even remember what my thing. I think it's at Dave or something. I'm not sure.
Well, I gotta ask before we go though, Dave. I mean, Does this bring back memories like when we used to do the radio show?
Well, yeah, absolutely. The only thing is, we have a place that we can stretch. We're not all crunched into one little spot.
Right. That's so true.
I had to
Before
have
we-
my one. I had my one. I'm very claustrophobic, so I had to have my one chair, and it didn't matter who was there when I wasn't there. But when I got there, they knew they had to get up and move because I wasn't going to let them sit.
Right.
It was the only place I could go where it looks like I've actually got a little breathing room. So, and I know it used to piss Chrissy off.
I remember, and
Sitting there. Yeah. She got up that one night. She was pissed, and she got up and she ran out of the booth and she went outside and she's stomping and stomping, and then she come back in all happy and sat down like Frank. And
you know what other thing I remember from that room was how hot that in that room was. There was no AC. You had a little
cold.
fan.
Or
What?
cold at not in the wintertime.
Yeah, it was like
That's one thing
Be
we didn't
prepared
talk
for that
about.
this weekend, Nick.
What?
Well, that's
Be
one thing
prepared
we
for that
didn't
this
talk
weekend.
about. Ashmore State. Remember our first time at Ashmore State?
Oh my God, that had to been the okay, Jeremy. Let me tell you something right now. When we went to Crown Point earlier this year, as cold as it was when we were there, this reminder that Dave brought up about when we went to Ashmore Estates, that was even worse. It was bad.
We
Worse than you could ever
went
imagine.
to Ashmore State. It was right after they closed it as a haunted facility. They had a haunted house in there,
Yep.
and they just closed up the haunted house. They weren't going to do it again. They had no windows in that building. They had no doors in that building except for one. It was minus 17. Wind chill, 110 or something like that.
It was something like that. It was horrific.
Just brutal. Here's 9 people in one little spot. And I think, was your dad that burnt his pants because he got too close to the heater?
I don't know if it was him, but I wouldn't be surprised.
We had 2 heaters. That's all we had to keep warm. And believe me, it was freaking cold.
It made
And
it
what was your
very
comment? What your comment was? It was hard to find. What was it? Hard to find something in the cold.
Oh, I think it was hard to find a bathroom or something.
No. It was a paranormal comment about we were down by just before we got chased by the black spirit.
Oh, that was damn it.
Something to find a cold.
That was 10 years. That was over 10 years ago. I can't remember.
If you're in the heat and it starts getting cold, it's paranormal.
Yeah.
Well, he said it was hard to find a spirit in a cold building.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was just, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal.
And get this.
Yeah, I can feel a cold spot out there.
Yeah.
It's 0 degrees.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. The reason, not only was it so cold, but this was literally like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. So we literally did this right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's why we.
Well, it was December 10th when we went.
No, I remember it was a little bit later in
I
December.
tried to take December off.
After that, I think we were all basically like, we're never doing another investigation
at a place
like this again.
That was our first road trip, and we didn't realize it was going to be that.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, it was like 60 degrees.
Yep, it was.
So we didn't realize.
I still remember this was our first investigation and road trip together, and we were even up here. It was freezing as hell, and Frank, he wanted to. I guess he wanted to check out some cemeteries, but even he said there's just absolutely no way we're going to do it because it's so cold out. We just drove out to Ashmore Estates, and here's the funny thing, because I look back at it now. If you remember, Dave, at SoCon 3 years ago, Tom and myself, we went out to Ashmore Estates, and I don't know if you've been there recently, but now they got sleeping quarters, they got bathrooms, they got heating systems.
2 years ago, Easter. Yeah, we stayed in the little huts there. I'm actually doing an investigation there in September, or I think September, for Becky.
Is it? Oh, it must be for SilCon then, because SilCon
Well,
is
no, it's
coming
not
up.
so far. She's doing some other event, and they asked us to run the investigation.
The
I have
only
to
other,
double check with her.
I was gonna say the only other event that I know that's coming soon. I know there's the Dark History and Horror
Well,
Con
that's
that's
next
coming
month.
up.
That's in
It's
3
next
weeks.
month.
Yeah.
As far as I know, those are the only two events that I know of. So if there's anything else going on, that I don't know of.
Well, she said she was doing something. I'll have to check in and I'll get back to you. But she asked us to do the investigation for her. So okay.
Yeah.
I
The
like
funny
the
thing-
place. It's a good
Yeah,
place.
they've really fixed it up and cleaned it out too, compared to when we were there over 10 years ago. And I couldn't help but ask myself when I was there 3 years ago, I was like, where the hell was all this stuff when we really needed it?
And you know what
over
the best
10
part
years
about
ago,
it
damn
was? When we got there, we didn't get a shotgun put in our face.
Yeah, well, the guy that was there was ready to bring a shotgun out
The
shotgun
dude
out.
come after us with a shotgun.
Yeah, and
We're
we
supposed
had
to investigate there the first time, and the guy comes running after us with a shotgun. What are
All
you
the
doing?
fun
here?
and
Why are you-
adventures of being paranormal investigators.
Yeah, it's like, put your gun away, dude. What's wrong with you? We're midnight. Well, you're not supposed to be here for 5 more minutes. Really, dude? Come on, knock it off.
and you know the craziest thing about him?
I thought Heiberger was gonna kick his ass. Honestly, he went after him. He's like, dude, get that goddamn. I'm a lawyer. Get your damn gun. Come on.
And my dad's
Yeah,
a lawyer
He
too.
was not happy.
And you know the other thing too was I remember thinking too when this whole thing happened was what was it? Just left my head a second ago. It just, you know, the craziest thing about this guy is that because he told us at one point where he grew up, and he came from my hometown area, like probably like few doors
he's the
down
same-
from me.
He's the same guy that had that funky hat on during Ghost Adventure.
Yeah, with Ghost Adventures, and he told us at one point because in the Ghost Adventures episode of Ashmore Estates, they went to some cemetery where he was reading the graves off of patients who died at Ashmore.
Yeah.
He told us that. Yeah, he told us that. Well, that was for the Ghost Adventures episode. He's like, if you go there now, because apparently it's a private cemetery, they say if you go there now, the guy who owns it, he will meet you out there with a shotgun.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Jeremy looks tighter. I know. I got to get up early. Maybe we could do a 2-parter on this and come back.
We'll definitely have you back on.
That'd be
That's
cool.
for sure. Yeah.
Then we can talk more about Ashmore Estate and moving walls and shit.
Well, Dave, either way, it definitely was great to having you on.
Yeah,
definitely
it was.
great to chat with you.
I really appreciate you guys letting me come on. That was great. It's better than just sitting there and watching you guys.
Oh.
It's a different experience, isn't it?
It's a big difference.
Yeah, you found that out the hard way last week.
Yeah, Jill, I think, was kind of taken a little bit by surprise.
Hey, at least I can say I saw the longest show in history on your thing.
Yeah.
It was like that damn bunny. It just kept going and going and going.
All right. So with that, tomorrow, Nick and I are going to be at Crown Point. So I think what's going to happen is that we are not going to be able to get in there until 9 o'clock Eastern time. So I think what I'm going to do is set our show for that particular time. So we're going to be an hour back, starting up an hour later. That way we can be able to do a little tour inside the building, providing the Wi-Fi holds up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to do a full 2-hour show. Most likely not. But we're going to see what we can do. We'll definitely do a little tour outside the building, talk a little bit about it. Sandy, the lady who runs it, will not be there tomorrow night, so we'll talk to some of the other workers. We have Jackie and Earl and Denise. I was talking to Earl. He said that they can get us in at 9 o'clock. 8 o'clock Central. Um, and then next week, open mic night again. And also next week, we will have Nick and
Hey,
Angie from Bell Mansion.
Jill's requesting this. Can we maybe also get Tom on the show sometime before the Gettysburg event? Maybe.
That'd be a great guest.
It would be great. There's just only one issue, which I'll just address it quickly because Tom would say this too. Unfortunately, most of the time he's usually working on a Thursday night. So what I may have to try to tell him, if he's able to, if he wants to come on and be a guest on the show, he's probably going to have to take a night off from work. So because he works two jobs, so it's kind of difficult for him. But
I'm not asking anybody to take a night off so they can be on the show.
Well, that's the thing. Well, see that. As much as I hate seeing it, that would literally be Tom's only option because he works every Thursday night. So unless there's a night that he doesn't have to work, we'll try to bring him on. But no, because he did jump on here that's because he was watching while he was at work. So
yeah, Brad's at work every Thursday and Friday night.
Yeah, but he works a different job though, not like what Tom does. So
right.
No, but hopefully one day sooner or later we'll have him on.
We'll reach out to him and see what's.
I like investigating with him.
Yeah, Tom's great, and Dave, you've seen me, always with him a lot on these trips. So he's awesome to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then next week is your last.
Yeah, then next week is going to be my last episode of season 1 of the Nick Files. It's just going to be like, it won't even be that long of a show. I may only stay on for maybe about 40 minutes, just opening to suggestions and ideas for season 2. If you guys want to send them to me now, Jill actually did just last night for ideas and requests. Of course, I cannot guarantee that I may be able to do every single one because I do already have a few of my own, but I'll try to put on as many as I can, and also Don and Nick's horror discussion will be back also for next week as well. So he will be back.
Another good would be do a thing on Illinois and Native Americans.
I thought about doing something like that.
You should.
Yeah, and I don't know who his face.
Schurz was a big camp for the Native Americans, and
yeah, Schurz. I believe it or not,
here.
I was going to say, to be honest with you, Dave, Schurz is. I already have a document, so I could turn that into a slideshow of its own. So Schurz is definitely on my mind.
Yeah.
What show are you talking about on Tuesday? Do you know yet?
Don was still deciding. He actually called me just last night, and I told him if we're going to do an episode of anything like Killer Clown related, because I already told him about that you would be on those ones. I said you better do it soon because we got to start planning this out. I don't think that will be for next week's episode. That's
going to have to be done before I have my surgery.
I gotta share Jill's comment. The funny thing is she mentioned Stephen King's Ed. That is actually among one of the episodes that Don is thinking about doing as a full episode of Stephen King, and do more Stephen King stuff. And that's what Don and I were talking on the phone the other night. Is that we've been talking a lot about Stephen King stuff. So. But no, you
can't do one episode on Stephen King. You have to
know something funny about Stephen King?
What's
my
that?
Sister's neighbor.
Wait, what?
He's my sister's neighbor.
Oh, really?
They actually walk their dogs together.
Really?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Out in Vermont.
So because I know Stephen King lives up in Maine, so
he's Vermont. He's got a home in Vermont.
Oh, okay. I know he was in Maine for the longest
time.
Well,
it's right there, Maine and Vermont. They're right there.
He's got two. He's got two houses.
Her backyard is one part is Maine and the other half is Vermont.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what I was going to.
It's really funny. It's got markers right in the center of her.
So she's like
her
right.
Backyard.
She's
one
like
part
right
is Maine and the other one's Vermont.
So right at the border. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, oh yeah, that's what I've heard too. Like Stephen King, I think actually has owns two houses or mansions. So I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
if one of them's
because
in
he goes
Vermont.
down to Florida for the winter.
Look up Michelle Wismer.
On Facebook
Michelle
or
Wismer. I think she actually has pictures of her and him walking dogs together.
that would be awesome though. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I think look at her photos, and I think her and him are walking, or he's coming back and she's going and saying hi. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
that's
Well,
where we go. I'll have to look at it later because I know we're
Yeah.
about to end.
we need to end the show, guys.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
but Dave, you could stick around
Yeah.
for just a minute after the show.
All right.
I'll tell you that info, and then we'll
Okay.
end it completely.
For those in the audience, thank you for playing along.
Thank you,
And,
everybody that listened.
Great show.
Yep, definitely a good show. And
And thank you, Jeremy, for having me. And
thank
Nick.
you for being on.
We possibly get Dave to ask Stephen King to come on the show. Man, wouldn't that be cool as
Honestly,
hell?
I can't stand my sister. I haven't talked to her in 20 years. Her and I had a fish fight one time, and it was the last time we talked.
So, Jill, the answer is no.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so I would have said getting Stephen King on. That would be cool.
I
as
gave
hell,
you her
yeah.
name. All you got to do is friend her and get to know her for a while. And
Yeah, but they're probably gonna ask, say, well, where's
just
how did
don't tell her that I sent you, because then she'll.
All right. So, until tomorrow night, thank you.
Yeah. You guys all have a
You
great
guys
night.
Good night.